Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Planet Film Network. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
And I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell, and welcome back to episode 44 of Planet Film Live.
Oh my god, episode 44 of Planet Film Live. Can you guys believe it? Wow. Okay, yeah, we are coming fast up on the 50th episode. That's right, yeah. 50th episode. But do you know what today is?
No, I don't. What is today?
It is the 1 year anniversary of this program. It is the 1 year anniversary of Paced Well Live. No.
We're celebrating it by talking Saw movies. Correct?
Oh yeah, about the best franchise ever, the worst franchise ever. We'll talk about it. Get you guys. Oh wow. Do we have a barn burner in store for you?
Oh,
no, but seriously, thank you guys so much. I mean, we're at
166.
166. We haven't grown that much in the past week. We have grown by I think we were at we were like 160 I think last week. So we got about 6 in the past week, but we haven't posted anything because I'm back to work full time, so I'm not home. Also, second of all, these trailers have been dropping at like 11 p.m. or like they dropped a teaser for the Monsters at Work show. It came out at 1:47 a.m. What are these?
Really?
What are these Pacific times? Stop dropping trailers at Pacific times. You're dropping trailers when I'm trying to sleep for work in the morning, people. Come on. But also, those very few trailers that did drop were literally like 30 seconds. And we just, when we have stuff like that, like, we kind of decide on a case-by-case basis if it's worth making a whole video over. Because, like, some things, we do it. Dear Evan Hansen trailer did come out. That is true. I guess we could do that. Maybe after this, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Have you?
I have not. No.
Okay.
I never even seen the actual musical itself.
The only thing I saw was a screenshot of what's his name, Ben Platt, and it was his face on the Steve Buscemi meme of like, "Hello, fellow kids," because he looks so old because he's playing a teenager. But yeah, I guess we could do Dear Evan Hansen. That did come out today. But other than that, like Snake Eyes, we were thinking of doing. That one is like a weird anomaly to me because it's called the official trailer. It's called official trailer number 1, and it's 54 seconds. How is that a trailer? But then you get a
Snake Eyes. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you get like brief look or first look teaser that's like 2.5 minutes, and it's but then that's not a trailer. So I don't know. These companies, they make up whatever name they want. But yeah, so we just haven't posted that much because there hasn't been that much to post, and we've been a little bit busier. But like I said, we're probably gonna do the Dear Evan Hansen one, and then when full length big trailers come out, we'll obviously react to them. It's just been kind of a slow week. But the where we started all of this is, regardless, we haven't posted in almost a week, and we still grew. So we appreciate it. That means that somebody's sharing us, whether it's you guys or the YouTube algorithm. We appreciate our Google gods. Either way, no matter what it is, if it's the algorithm or if it's natural sharing, we appreciate it very, very much from you guys. And we appreciate you putting us in a position where we're still doing this 1 year later. That's something that I don't think we could have foreseen. Like, we were hoping for it, you know what I mean? But we didn't know if we would really be doing it. So we really appreciate that. Like, in the past year, like, we never thought, like, we would actually, not much, but we never thought we would actually make money doing this. Like, like with merch, you can check out PFN store, link in the video description. for the beautiful merch over there. But like seriously, it's just crazy how much we've done in 1 year, and then really how much we've done just in the past few months. Really since February, we kind of skyrocketed, not skyrocketed, but you know what I mean. Relatively, we kind of took a big jump in
Yeah.
February, which was really good and really appreciated.
Mhm.
But yeah, so how have you been? What else has been going on with you, or what do you have to say for being in a 1 year?
Yeah, I'm astounded. I wake up every morning and it's like literally like it's like a hit that I need every morning. I check the YouTube Studio app. And
Mm-hmm.
every time I see we're up by
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know, a sub or two, that's usually what it is. I go. It just pushes me to keep going. Um, so thank you to everybody that has subscribed and who will subscribe if you're watching this, you know, 4 years from now. Um, we very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. Um,
Other than that,
yeah.
I was talking to you actually. Quick side note. I was talking to you, I think today or yesterday, I mentioned there is an Invincible comic
Shortage.
shortage.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, you cannot find any, the Ultimate Collection, nor the, what is it, Compendium? Is that how
Oh,
you
look, I
pronounce it?
found one.
Oh, look, the one Compendium that
I
exists.
found the last copy in
Um,
all of New York State.
yeah. So I ordered the
Oh,
Compendium 1 today
yeah.
off Skybound.
Mm-hmm.
Second one was
What are
sold
their
out.
prices? Do they sell it
They're
MSRP, or do they like upcharge or discount because
It's
it's like
60.
them? So
I think it was
60. That
60.
is under MSRP
Yeah.
actually, because it's
It was
this
60 to
was
65.
oh okay, because this is 64.99. So
I
that might just
paid,
be that.
it's 65 unit price.
Okay, yeah,
$65.
yeah.
But yeah, I looked for the second one everywhere, sold out everywhere. I put in a remind me thing on Target. So
Nice.
hopefully they'll email me. I'll be able to pick one of those up. And
Oh.
then the third one, I will probably buy once I secure the second one.
Yeah,
Because I plan on this point, honestly, I plan on reading the entirety of it, which I think is 144 issues total.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, as soon as you said, I didn't know what compendium meant when I was buying the Ultimate Collection.
yeah.
So that's why I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely more, I'll benefit in the long run if I just buy the 3 compendiums instead of buying the 14 Ultimate editions.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm upset because I don't know. I just want to buy them all now.
yeah, yeah. Same.
But yeah,
Like for me, I remember last week when you showed the ultimate one you got. I was like, um, what's it called? I said I want to get like if they have like an omnibus because it's like it goes like issue that's basically just the one, and then
mhm.
it's like volume is like what you have, which is like 13 or 10, like around there, like usually one
Right.
quick run of it. And then like compendium is like a big one like this, but then omnibus is like a big hardcover, all of
Oh,
it. Like, yeah, it's like all of it. So like you could
yeah.
buy like Iron Man's 60 like 1970s omnibus or something. It would be like
Oh
every
wow.
Iron Man comic from the 1970s, like that kind of thing. Or you could buy the entire run. But yeah, that's
Did
like
I,
that's
I
the
was say, do they
one.
even have that
No,
for
I couldn't
Invincible?
find it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I think this is the closest thing. But the only drawback, I mean, I don't consider it a drawback, but some people might, is it's
Hmm.
like paperback. But
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
do like that
how.
about the Ultimate Collection that it's hardcover.
Yeah, like I feel like the Ultimate Collection. Well, I feel like it's good to have like a volume
Uh
hardcover
huh.
because it's like a good conversation piece. You know what I mean? Like you could pull out the hardcover and be like, "Oh, here you go. Like this, take a look at this. Like if you like that, like there's more where that came from. This is like perfect to read. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is like really good to read. Like as oh, my bookmark's not even in the right place. But yeah, I think I'm about, what did I tell you? I think I'm like
13 or
thir-
16, I think you said.
six I think I'm like 16 or 17 issues in.
Yeah, because I had to stop at 14 because that was what the Ultimate Collection ended at. So
Yeah.
I just basically read through the entire first season. Basically, that's what the Ultimate Collection for one is. It's just
Yeah.
the first season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just gonna say something else. I completely
My
forgot.
loyalty
Oh,
lies with Viltrum.
the other thing I finished was I finished the Dooku book.
Oh, you did
yesterday,
finish
actually.
it.
I got to work, and so usually like I pick and choose my Audible days. Like usually every single day I usually have a set schedule of what I'm listening to every single day.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's fallen that way where like things will end. Like a podcast will end, then this other podcast I listen to will be out. So I'll listen to that right after. And
Yep.
Audible kind of gets lost in the shuffle usually.
I'll say I'm back on Audible. I caught up with Rhett and Link's podcast for a year of it. And then I listened to everything from this week for all my podcasts,
Yeah.
so I'm back on Audible today.
Yeah. So yesterday there was no podcast out or anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So usually I default to Audible, and then I usually watch sports debate show in the morning, and the two co-hosts weren't there, so I didn't watch it. So I was like, oh, I could just I ripped through the Dooku book. I had 2.5, 3 hours left, and I just ripped through that. Then immediately I started Thrawn
Alliance,
which so far so good. I think I'm only like an hour in or whatever, but Dooku book was good.
Little
like I said to you, what?
Little Cypher Diaz action.
Yeah, I said to you the other day, like, or it was a few weeks ago, where I was like, is this really just like Ventress, just like recounting his childhood, and that's about it. And it definitely is a little bit more than that. Like, you know, I mean, it is a lot of her like kind of just finding his sister the entire time.
That's like the main crux of it, but
that's the main thing.
It evolves.
But yeah, that's canon, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that was like exclusively Audible too.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not like a book.
It was an audio original. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of surprised.
You can buy the book though.
Oh, you can. Okay.
They it was an audio play first, and then they transcribed it to a book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that it was like it said like originally it was like specifically audio, I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised that's canon. Like, surprised they would like make that. But yeah, I would.
Michelle says I like Dooku, but you can't count on him.
That was a good one. But I hope they maybe transcribe that somewhere, like transfer that to like live action or animated or something at some point. I think that'd be cool. But
yeah,
I'd
like to see it in at least like a comic. I'd love some visual to go along with that, like the gosh, it's been over a year since I read it at this point, but the trying to remember to remind you, but also not spoil it. Like when the Jedi, when Cypher Diaz is like, this thing is gonna happen to this planet, please listen to me, and then like the Jedi don't. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the kind of catastrophe that happens on
like the
X planet.
When he has the premonition?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see that. Like, the Jedi's failure to... Yes, they do the Jedi thing and save the day, but the fact that they couldn't trust him quick enough and lost all all those lives and stuff. Like, I love that stuff when the Jedi are just full of themselves.
That's the same thing when they're just like... They just, like, don't listen. Like, the whole, like, the whole thing, like, Palpatine's literally right under their nose and they just don't know. Like, it's like the same thing happens in this book.
Yeah.
It's like they're just oblivious.
And it's like Cypher Diaz is literally in the book, he is screaming at them. Like, stop. Go. Yeah. We need to go to this place now. And Yoda's like, trust not in future. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, shut up. Like, just go. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. But I said to you, I think every other month, after this, we can end we'll get into topics and stuff. But like fucking, I just splurged. I had 5 credits for Audible, and I just bought all the Dune books. Like I just was like, okay, I don't know what I'm even going to use these on, so here, I'll just get all these Dune books.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
because we already have all the Star Wars ones.
Right. Did you finish the New Republic? or was it High Republic?
Oh, High Republic. No, so I
Yeah.
finished.
I heard you said you were lukewarm on the first one, so I didn't know if
Yeah. So I
you
finished
continued.
Light of the Jedi, but I'm actually reading right now.
That one, yeah. I saw it in the library
Into the
yesterday,
Dark.
so
Yeah, Into
yeah.
the Dark. I'll tell you, I read 13 hours of Light of the Jedi, and I like the first hour of Into the Dark a lot more.
Wow. Okay.
That could be because I'm not saying that I didn't like the. Well, I guess actually my main problem with Light of the Jedi was the writing. But Into the Dark is written by Claudia Gray, who, in my opinion, is the best. Um, uh, Aside from like Timothy Zahn, who like the Thrawn books and stuff like that. Like I mean, newer to Star Wars. I think Claudia Gray with Lost Stars. All the Leia books. Master and Apprentice, which is the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan book. Which, if anybody out there hasn't read that, fantastically one of the best adventures in all of Star Wars. I think she's just really really good at writing Star Wars, and so I'm really enjoying this one so far. It just like her writing style just makes you feel like you're in the universe, like just right off the bat. Like no matter where you're at, no matter what time period is, you just feel like you're in it, which I really appreciate. But yeah, so right now I'm Into the Dark.
Speaking of Qui-Gon, real quick, last thing in the Dooku book, whoever did that voice, pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty spot on.
Was he more like Irish sounding in that one?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah. I
bit,
like it. I like it more when people like remember that about Liam Neeson's voice, because there's another guy who does Qui-Gon. I think it was the guy who did Qui-Gon in A Certain Point of View, in the chapter where Qui-Gon's Force Ghost visits Obi-Wan in Episode 4. He like didn't do like an Irish beat. It was more of like just like a raspy Liam Neeson type voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, it still felt like Qui-Gon, but it just didn't like feel as good as like in Master and Apprentice, that kind of thing. But yeah. Really like Qui-Gon as a character. Great character. All right. All right. Quick question. Liam Neeson in Obi-Wan, yes or no?
Yes.
There you go. Boom. All right. So we have a couple of things. I have a quick question for you and for the chat. If you had to rank these three men in terms of person, worst person to best person, Homelander, Omni-Man, John Walker.
Worst person to best person?
Yeah. Like rank all
Homelander,
three.
Omni-Man, John Walker.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree absolutely.
Yes. I'd say John Walker is hands down the best out of the three.
Yeah.
I feel like no doubt.
John Walker is like 80% redeemable. It's like the way that I look at it is John Walker is like trying to think of somebody who was like redeemed, but like John Walker would be, oh shit, I can't even think right now. John Walker, I guess this is a bad example, but like John Walker would be like Maul in Rebels, and then like Omni-Man's Vader, and then Homelander's Palpatine. Like there's just no there is no redeeming of Homelander at all. Like
Homelander,
Omni-Man's like 30% redeemable, and then John Walker's like 50-50. Like
right.
Totally. Probably more like 60-40 good. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. We got Shrek turning 20 years old today. How do you feel about that?
Great. I saw The Guardian put up a review and said 20 years later, like Shrek is the most useless, like unneeded movie or something. And somebody like quote tweeted and was like, "I will give you 20 seconds to delete this."
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was something like they were just like it was like a 20-year like look back review at it. I think.
That is a terrible 20-year look back review.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus. All right. Well,
It was
anyways,
something. It was something like that. Yeah.
yeah. Not the gumdrop button. Let's see. Knives Out 2. Growing again. Now, am I noticing a
Yeah.
pattern here? Are we adding literally a cast member like every day? Is it every
I
week
don't
or
know,
every
but
day? It feels like it's
whoever
been at
is
least every other day.
whoever is casting this movie needs a freaking like medal.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this might be like a movie that like people would like actors will like
Dying
actively
to
like
get into.
asking if they
Yeah.
can be a part of. And if you miss out, there's still a third one. So
Yeah.
um, but
That's
yeah,
true.
I'm that whole Leslie Odom Jr. I thought was great casting.
Yep.
I feel like
Yeah, so I think I think
I
since
know
the
he's in a
last time we talked about it, Leslie
yeah.
Odom Jr. has joined, Janelle Monáe has joined, and then Catherine
Mm.
Hahn has joined.
It was the other one, yeah. Who just won best
Oh, we'll
villain
talk
at the
about it.
MTV
Oh, we'll
Awards.
talk about it.
Um,
More like the
but yeah,
MCU awards.
I'm hyped. Leslie Odom Jr. I really only know. I know he's been in a lot of stuff, but I really only know him from Hamilton. And he was obviously amazing in that. He was also in One Night in Miami, which I still
He
have
was
not
okay
watched.
in Hamilton.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
just
didn't really
just
like
messing with
Hamilton
him.
anyway. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Janelle Monáe. I think is a great talent who is going to bring something interesting to it. I think Catherine Hahn, especially, is one of my favorite picks for this so far. I think she's going to bring kind of a. I hope she brings the Jamie Lee Curtis energy to this one, if you know what I mean by
Yeah.
that. Like just the kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. Just the Jamie Lee Curtis vibe of like
Yeah.
she's better than everyone and also over it, like the whole movie. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that Catherine Hahn will kind of bring that to it. All right, if you had to pick, let's say it's definitely not going to stop here, but if the cast stopped here and it was a smaller cast than the first movie, who out of this group do you think is the murderer? Also, you got to remember, one of these people is going to be the one getting killed.
Right. Hold on, I have to look at the cast again. I literally forgot who was in it. Daniel Craig obviously is not. He's just kind of there, like he's like, you know what I mean, like he's not the.
He's the
not the
Rock.
killer. He's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dave Bautista. I forgot. Fuck.
Yeah, Dave Bautista.
I'm gonna go with Ed Norton. I think Catherine Hahn is maybe that's too predictable. I put her as the killer.
To be the killer? Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think maybe she's killing Ed Norton.
I actually thought Ed Norton as the person being killed as well. I don't know. I just feel like we talked about last week, like that he's known to be difficult to work with and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's a smaller role. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
But is Lakeith coming back? No, I don't think Lakeith is coming back because it's probably going to take place in a different city, right?
I was gonna say I don't think anybody is gonna.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
I think
only Daniel Craig I think is coming back, and Ryan Johnson, and probably some sort of cameo from Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right.
If I had to put money on it, I would say Ed Norton's getting killed. I think maybe it might be like Janelle Monáe. I think that would be a good role for her, be the killer. We'll see. But yeah, very excited for that. I'm sure we'll talk about it again next week because I'm sure there will be even more casting. Speaking of Danny Boy himself, Daniel Craig, the studio that calls James Bond their own might not be their own much longer. Amazon is currently in negotiations to acquire MGM Studios for around $9 billion. Now, to give you some context, what'd you say?
That's a lot of money.
Well, I was going to say, to give you some context, that's not a lot of money. But, I mean, because you think that's like what, like 3 Avengers movies have made at the box office. Like, they bought Fox for almost $100 billion.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, MGM.
They must be struggling then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, MGM really has not been turning out great things. If you remember that movie a couple years
Yeah.
ago with Anne Hathaway and what's her name? Oh
Matthew McConaughey.
no,
Oh,
what's
what's it called? The Hustle.
yes, The Hustle.
Yeah.
So that was a female reboot of the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which starred
Right.
Michael Caine and Steve Martin and
Hmm.
Palpatine himself, Ian
Oh,
McDiarmid.
really?
Yeah,
Didn't know he was in that.
way back in the day. Um, but one of the reasons that that was a reboot was because just a couple years ago they got saved a little bit in the past couple years with I think, um, gosh, what was the last Bond movie that came out?
Um,
Spectre wasn't the last one, right? There was one
it
since
wasn't
Spectre.
Spectre. It was or was it Spectre?
Oh my god, I think Spectre was the last one.
It was a while ago.
Wow, I think it was Spectre.
Yes, it was Spectre.
Holy
Okay.
crap!
I
What year was
apologize
that?
for messing that up. 2015.
Wow, 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
'Cause
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I think they got saved a little bit with some Spectre money, but like for a while they were so cash strapped
Hmm.
that all they could do was they couldn't pay any writers to make new scripts. So all they were doing was taking old scripts, punching them up, and then making a movie with it
Oh wow.
because they couldn't afford new scripts. That's how tight everything was at MGM. And then I think
Yikes.
they got a little bit of relief through like James Bond, and they also have part ownership of the Mission Impossible franchise too. So I think
Oh yeah.
they made some
That makes
stuff
some
off
money.
of that, enough, but only to get it up to 9 billion. Uh,
Hmm.
Now to give you an idea, like 9 billion is a good amount when you consider like they bought Marvel for like I think what was it 4 billion, and then they bought Lucasfilm for 5 billion, something like
Mm.
that. Um, but then again, those were more they just bought the really yes they bought the studio, but it was really just the one franchise, plus
Right.
Indiana Jones. Um, so 9 billion for a whole studio that is pretty cheap, especially when you
Hmm.
consider the Lucasfilm acquisition and the Marvel acquisition were almost a decade ago. Marvel was actually over a decade ago. So
Right.
I mean, if you consider that, it's a pretty surprising number to me at least. But what are your thoughts on this? That MGM, that like Amazon's making this big play to acquire MGM.
Yeah. I'm not really surprised considering what you just said. I mean, literally less than a year ago, they were trying to sell No Time to Die. Like the
Yeah,
whole thing was like, remember? And then people were like, "Oh, half a billion." They're like, or I think that's what they wanted was at least half a billion.
yeah,
And people are like, "No," you know.
yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Doesn't MGM like go way back,
Yeah,
like way back?
it's one of the
I
original
remember
big
them.
three.
They're definitely referenced in Mank. I can tell you that much. Um, so yeah, I think it would be great. As much as I would hate to see, kind of these. It's not like a small studio, but like the studios
Yeah.
kind of getting eaten up by these big companies. If that's what it takes for them to stay alive. Plus, it would honestly probably shift like the James Bond movie. I'm assuming they have like streaming rights and stuff like that. It would shift it to Amazon, so you could
Yeah,
throw all those on Prime. I don't know what else they own.
yeah.
They own a few things. They own The
Hmm.
Hobbit. I thought I saw
What does?
MGM.
Yeah, they might own like distribution or something on it. I'm
Yeah,
not
for The
sure.
Hobbit. Um, but yeah, I think this would be great. Um, but yeah, we'll see if that actually happens. But yeah,
Yeah,
well, you said 9 billion. I was like, that's a lot of money. But when you compare that to everything else, maybe it's not that much.
yeah.
And it's not like Amazon can't afford it. So
Exactly. Yeah, they could.
yeah.
They were talking about buying a whole movie theater chain at one point.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Yeah. Next up, we have a little bit of sad news. We have longtime actor and Emmy-winning actor Charles Grodin has passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 86. He was in things like Midnight Run, the Beethoven movies, and The Heartbreak Kid, as well as a couple other things.
Hmm.
It's definitely thoughts and prayers with him and his whole family and everything. Um, but 86. I mean, it's not super old. Like he probably still had at least a couple years. Um,
Right.
but rest in peace. Nonetheless, we're thinking about him over here at the Planet Film Network. So on to the next thing. So here we have that Ant-Man 3 director Peyton Reed has confirmed that the upcoming sequel will use the volume production technology first seen and used on The Mandalorian. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think it might be used for? Maybe like some quantum realm stuff, or maybe do you think just regular things, just like Mando uses it for?
Yeah, maybe for, if they're, in sprawling landscapes and they
Yeah,
don't want to
Quantum
go, there's no
Mania.
location, they don't have a location or anything. Yeah, so what is, Quantum Mania? I mean, I don't even know what that means
It's gonna be
exactly,
quantum and all over the place.
so maybe they honestly, we have these different locations they show up in, and, they use that instead of, spending all this money to kind of go and
Go
shoot on
location to location, locate. Yeah,
Right. And from what we've seen, and we saw obviously in the behind the scenes for Mando too, it looks great.
and they
Like
can
you
pretty
literally
much do
can't.
anything. It's not
Yeah.
even just like broad landscapes. It's like
Mhm.
they used it not so much in season 1, but season 2. Watch the doc for making of season 2 of Mando. They use it for interior sets. They use it for like the smallest details.
Mhm.
Um, so they can really do like some very high quality stuff. Like you could make it
Mhm.
convincingly. You could have somebody standing in front of it, and it might. I don't know how convincing it would be, but like it would look pretty damn close to you just thinking they were in like a real room or something like that.
Right.
So I think it is something that we're gonna see a lot more. I think it's something that is not to say that the Ant-Man movies haven't been successful, but they are more of the mid-tier Marvel Studio box office
Mhm.
makers. They may, if you can call like 800 and 600 million dollars mid-tier,
Right.
like that's still almost $1 billion, but still, um, nonetheless, the Ant-Man movies probably usually cost around like 100 million. They usually make like between 600 and 800 million. So I think using this volume technology is a really cost-effective way to
Yeah.
keep the budget down a little bit. Like you said, they're not going to have to go from location to location to location. They can trim down some of that. And I think they can save a lot out of the budget by using it. And I think it's going to be a move
Right.
that you're going to see a lot more studios take on. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if the volume is something that is intellectual property to Disney. I don't know if they're the only people that can use it, or if it's something that they are going to sell out or lease out to other studios. I'm not sure at that point, but at least for Disney productions, I think you're going to see a lot more Disney productions using them. Season 1, there was only one volume. Now I think they said there's like 5 of them. And,
Okay.
and they keep getting bigger too. They can keep
Yeah.
building them bigger. Um, so yeah, I'm super excited for this. Like TJ said, I think it could be used for a lot of different applications. For the upcoming movie. What do you think? Do you think we get a little like a stuffed Grogu or something cameo in Ant-Man 3 on
Um.
a shelf?
No. Maybe.
See,
I.
it's
I don't
interesting
know.
because it's like they reference Star Wars all the time in the MCU, but
Oh, that's
like,
true. They
would
do.
they
Yeah.
reference the Mandalorian? Because technically, the Mandalorian would have aired in the blip.
Maybe pretty meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have Sam Jackson literally said like something about Darth Vader in Far From Home. So,
True. Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. All right. So, like TJ slightly brought up earlier, the what is it? The MTV Movie and Television Awards were held this past week, and you might as well
Mhm.
call it the MCU Movie and Television Awards, because the MCU won big time that night. So some of the notable winners that we have, like TJ said earlier, best villain went to Catherine Hahn for Agatha. Agatha Harkness, obviously from WandaVision. Best duo went to Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Best
Mhm.
fight went to Elizabeth Olsen and Catherine Hahn for WandaVision. Best TV performance went to Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision. Best hero went to Anthony Mackie for Falcon and Winter Soldier. And best show overall went to WandaVision. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know this is not... Oh, I almost said the Golden Globes. Woo. I know this isn't like, the
Like
highest
the Emmys.
caliber. Yeah, exactly. It's not the Emmys. But these
Wait,
kind
is
of...
Emmys theater or is that TV?
That's TV.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Or the Tonys is what I'm
the
thinking.
Tonys is theater, yeah. Oh man. The
I was gonna say, if I told
I'm
Danielle,
struggling
like,
here,
if
yeah.
I was a celebrity and I was nominated, I'd be like, I could take this one over Zoom. I don't need to be there. I was
it looked
surprised
like a fun
that
ceremony, honestly.
I was surprised that like they were there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess. I'm not really
ScarJo
surprised.
did not show up. Did you see this clip with her and Colin Jost?
No.
He I don't know if if Scarlett Johansson won something or if she was just presenting something. Cuz the clip, she had an award in her hand, but I don't know if it was one she won that night or one she had won previously. But Colin Jost, oh yeah, she did win because Colin Jost, who was her husband, obviously one of the writers and co-host of Weekend Update on SNL. He ran up to her and he dumped slime on her head during her acceptance speech, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She got an achievement award
Okay.
for Black Widow, for Natasha, and he dumped it on her head, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "What? You won, so you got slimed." And she was like, "That's fucking Nickelodeon!" Like, she's like wiping it out of her face. It was
Colin.
actually pretty funny.
I would say the only things I saw were Elizabeth Olsen like photobombing Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And
Do you see that?
Elizabeth Olsen and Catherine Hahn joking about winning Best Kiss. That was the only thing I saw on Twitter, and that
You
was
didn't see Mackie's Tom Holland call out?
I did not know.
He held the award and he looked in the camera and he said, "Tom Holland, I'm on your ass." He was like, "I'm coming for you." It was pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the whole ceremony, but I watched a whole bunch of clips on Twitter of it. It did look like a fun time. I think based on our conversation last week about the Golden Globes and different award ceremonies and stuff, I think it is good to kind of just have fun with these lighter award shows. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're looking for the more inclusivity of genre films and of superhero films and sci-fi, all that stuff, it is happening. It's just happening at these like MTV awards or at the Nick Choice Awards, those kind of things. And yes, they're not the Oscars, but they're still awards. They're still awards that millions of people tune into and care about. So I think they're important in that way. And big congratulations to Marvel Studios and everybody over there for all these wins. I mean, it's great. The only thing that I would have personally preferred is, I know he still got an award because it won Best Show, but a little more Paul Bettany love because he was so good. I hope when the shit hits the fan, when the actual Emmys come out, the nominations, I really hope both him and Elizabeth Olsen do get nominated. I don't think they... I don't know if they would win, but I think the performances that they gave, honestly, in my opinion, I think especially Paul Bettany, I think both of them, really. I really should say both of them. But if I had to pick just one, I would say Paul Bettany, because I just feel like he went to a whole nother level. He brought a lot of his breadth of acting experience to it and really kind of brought it. But I think they both actually really deserve, just flat out, I think they deserve an Emmy nomination. Yeah. So I hope they get that. But we got a little while to wait to see what goes on with that. But yeah, awesome wins for everybody, and a win for TJ going. These transitions today are great. Dune is no longer expected to premiere day and date on theatrical and on HBO Max. It will reportedly...
I've heard that this is not true. That it
Oh,
is coming day and
uh-oh.
date.
Who said it was coming day and date? I haven't seen that.
I heard that
It might have
somebody like
changed.
from Warner Brothers or whoever tweeted out that that's not true. That it is coming day and date. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm just checking here.
That's what whoever reported at Deadline or whoever, and then somebody later that night tweeted out was like, no, like it's still coming to theaters and coming same day to HBO.
Oh, I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
With
I
no
don't know who
official
it was.
confirmation, no official confirmation coming from either side of the studio. A lone producer says that it will still debut on HBO Max despite latest rumors. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a producer saying, no, it's still in place. But we have Deadline reporting that is not, I don't know, maybe the producer wasn't told. Or maybe Deadline got it wrong. The big trades can get it wrong still.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think
Oh, man.
I don't think anybody expects this movie to do, $1 billion. I hope it does. I don't think it will.
It's the Villeneuve curse.
The Villeneuve curse, exactly. I hope
They
it
set him
makes
up to
enough
fail
money for
every
them.
movie.
I hope it makes enough money for them to do a sequel, because from reading the book, from what I remember, I had listened to it, a few months ago, and it's like 30 hours. So I'm like trying to, remember all that.
Yeah.
There is definitely that he will not. The whole book will not be in the movie. You
No, I
will
think he
have to
said it's
do
the
a
first
sequel
half.
to get the whole
Yeah.
story. Right? Yeah.
And that's just the first book.
That's just the first book. Yeah.
You could do 10
I
of
think
these
there's-
movies. You could do 20
Yeah, there's a
movies.
few books. I've only read like the self-titled one, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited for this. This is a movie that I will not watch on HBO. Either I don't really care if it comes out HBO or theater. Like I want to see it in the theater. But yeah, I'm either way. I'm excited. So but I don't think maybe like if it's on HBO, it'll get more eyes on it. But like I just don't know. I think it'll be like a Blade Runner 2049 situation.
Yeah.
Like I think you won't see. Like I don't want to say like because I think it's fair to say Blade Runner's not mainstream, right? Or is
Now?
it? Okay.
Or then?
I guess now, yeah. I guess then. Or actually no, I'll say now.
I still don't think it's mainstream, no.
Okay. So like cuz obviously Blade Runner 2049 did not do, enough a lot of money. I honestly think
ended a whole studio.
right. Yeah, I don't even think
R.I.P. to Bobby Finstock's career, by the way, for that movie.
I don't even want to say like I don't know enough about like Dune to say if it is mainstream or not. It doesn't strike me as being mainstream.
Yeah. I would say
So
it's maybe just as mainstream as like Blade Runner 2049.
I think it
was.
might suffer the same fate as like 2049 did when it came out. I really hope it doesn't because Denny is not missed yet. I have to go back and watch like his first like bigger movie. I forget what it's called, which apparently is really good. I've heard. But yeah, I hope it just makes enough money for a second one.
Yeah,
I'd be
same.
pretty sad if it didn't. I still have to watch. I haven't finished the Lynch Dune either. I started it like a while ago. I just have not gone back to
Well,
it.
you got time. You got until October, so
Yeah.
you could get there eventually. Speaking of getting there eventually, we have oh my god, I just completely forgot the name of the studio. We have Rockstar Games setting a groundbreaking record, which is 8 years after launch, GTA 5 is coming with a new updated version to
Oh, my
PS5
Lord.
and Xbox. It's the first single title unchanged game that has been on 3 generations of systems. How crazy is that?
Do you
like-
think they're ever gonna make a sixth one? Or
Well,
just keep
that's
releasing
where the
fifth one?
conversation is going online. Is people are saying like, well, are you ever going to release a sixth one? I think maybe one day. Yeah, I think they will. I honestly, I just think that their ideas are just
They're
going to
raking
the
it in.
5. Yeah, I mean, what if it isn't broke? Don't fix it. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's the old adage. Because guess what? guess what's going to happen for all these people clamoring to make a 6? It's I'm not saying it's going to be worse. I'm not saying it's going to be better. It's not going to be GTA 5. It's not going to have everything that you can do in GTA 5. You can do so much in GTA 5. Like that video went viral this week of the Omni-Man mod. Like
Oh yeah,
you can literally
that
it
was
is
cool.
GTA 5 has literally just become this. First of all, even if you don't mod it, it's this crazy thing that you can literally do anything in. Second of all, if you're on PC and you're modding it, it's literally just like an open sandbox blank slate that you can change into anything. Like which I just think is so cool. So that's my take on it. I think eventually they will do a GTA 6, but I think they know what they're doing, and they know that when they make GTA 6, people are going to say, "Well, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? What's good?" Like that, all that stuff. And I think they know they don't want to bring that down on themselves.
Yeah, they could be honestly like obviously I don't know, but they could be just focusing on a completely different IP. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I know Red Dead 2 came out like a few years ago, so probably not that, but I don't know what else do they have? I know they have a lot of things. Obviously
Yeah, they got
GTA,
other
Red
stuff.
Dead. What else? Oh, they did what's it called? LA Noir, I think. Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
Yep.
They did that. What
Yep.
else? Anything else?
Google is telling me GTA, Red Dead, and LA Noir. Max Payne.
That's it?
That's them. Max Payne.
Oh, Max Payne. I think that is that IP dead? I feel like they like made 3 of them and
The last thing was 2012, almost 10 years ago.
oof. Yeah, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a couple smaller things.
Yeah.
No, actually it's not even smaller things. It's just that's it. That's it really. Max Payne.
Or they could be
GTA.
coming up with something completely new.
Yeah, I mean I'd be
yeah.
here for that.
I never got into Red Dead Redemption. I don't know about you.
I actually was just about to say I actually always forget. It makes me forget about a big game that I loved because everybody calls the most recent one Red Dead 2, but it's not. It's Red Dead 3.
Red Dead 2.
I played Red Dead Revolver like all the time on PS2.
The hell is Red Dead Revolver?
Are you joking? That
Red
was
Dead
the first
Revolver.
game. That was the original one.
Oh. I
You
always
didn't
thought
even
Red
know
Dead
that this
Redemption was
exists?
the first one.
No, Red Dead Revolver. That's why everybody calls it Red Dead 2, but it's not. It's Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's a sequel to Redemption. But Red Dead Revolver, I used to play all the time on the PS2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'd love give me a Red Dead Revolver 2. That would be sick after all this time if they did something like that. Or like you said, totally new IP. Either one, fine by me, great by me.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more topic here, and then we are on to Saw.
The main topic.
Yes. All right, and this topic is it is a doozy, which is that AT&T is merging, selling, severing. It's doing something with Discovery Media. So basically, AT&T is the big parent company for what is called WarnerMedia, which is the parent company to Warner Brothers, HBO, Cartoon Network, all that kind of stuff. DC, Adult Swim, all that stuff is all owned by WarnerMedia, which is owned by AT&T, which is obviously the TV provider,
Right.
cell phone company, that kind of thing. So this is a big number. This is 43 billion, which sounds a lot more correct than like the 9 billion for MGM.
Yeah.
So this is basically in effect going to merge Discovery Plus and HBO Max together to form a new company, which we don't know the name of yet.
It's form a new company.
Yes, it's a merge.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a merger.
Yeah.
So Discovery Plus will be no more. It will fold into HBO Max, and now HBO.
Can I just say how This is so weird because literally, so I was on, my parents had HBO and that's the one I
Yeah.
was using, and they canceled it because they weren't watching it, and then they got Discovery Plus, like
Well,
literally like a week a week or two ago.
the universe threw down an Uno reverse card.
Yeah, so that's just like so weird to me.
That is so funny. So basically now the new HBO Max, or maybe it'll be called HBO Discovery or something. I hope not. Just call it HBO Max.
I
Just
hope
stick
it's
to
not.
It. Yeah. So what I'm going to refer to as HBO Max might change. We don't know yet. So HBO Max will now include, get ready for this, Discovery Channel, Food Network, HGTV, Warner Brothers, HBO, CNN, TLC, Science Channel, Animal Planet, Cartoon Network, HLN, Cinemax, Turner Sports, Magnolia
Oh,
Network.
Cinemax. Interesting. Okay.
Magnolia Network, ID, Independent Discovery Channel, TVN, not sure what that is, Eurosport,
Jesus.
TBS, TNT, Adult Swim, and also a little thing called DC. So all of that will now be
Little company.
yeah, little one. Gosh, we were talking about wouldn't it be great if DC was its own? Now it's buried even further. I hope maybe this new deal, maybe this shift in the company, maybe it will show maybe it will show that under new leadership they'll take DC out and say, try to do your own thing. Just see what happens. I'm hoping this is going to be a big shakeup.
So AT&T will no longer own HBO.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
So what's the whole? They have like a reason, don't they? Wasn't there like a reason?
Now watch this drive.
Like,
WarnerMedia chief Jason Kylar, not sure how to pronounce it, is negotiating his exit in the wake of the mega merger. Chief says he was kept in the dark about the deal until recent days. So this is coming off of the heels of further reporting saying that AT&T, ever since its acquisition of Warner about a little over a decade ago, and now that is, they acquired Warner Brothers, because everything used to just be Warner Brothers. It was just Warner Brothers Pictures, like everybody knows. And Warner Brothers Pictures made a DC movie. They made they made HBO. They that kind of thing. Right. Then about a decade ago, I think it was, they got bought by AT&T. Then they kind of rebranded under AT&T as WarnerMedia to kind of encompass everything. So basically, rumor has it that the last couple years with the mismanagement mainly of DC, and with the mismanagement of the HBO Max launch, and just kind of how HBO Max has been performing, and also the mismanagement of the day and date strategy, and how other companies like Legendary with Godzilla and with Dune were not consulted. People were not consulted. Everything that happened with Gal Gadot, with how they offered her a deal that they didn't offer to other talent, and you had people like Keanu and their agents that were kind of in an uproar, like what the hell. That AT&T has kind of been like, you guys are like, you do not know what you're doing. You're like dragging the boat down, like that kind of thing. You're like, you gotta do something. So this was kind of the way that they were looking to exit. So people are saying that the reason they think that the WarnerMedia chief, Jason Kilar, is negotiating his exit, and the reason why he was kept in the dark, is because they kind of feel like it's kind of his doing, his responsibility, that he was kind of failing, so they kind of pulled the rug out from under him, which I think is understandable. The new combined company has an estimated enterprise value of $150 billion, which is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And then another aspect of this too is Warner Brothers Games will now be split up between AT&T and the newly merged company. Now this is because Warner Brothers Games has been one of the best producing parts of it. So brain would think it's the best operating thing, just let it keep operating. But money says, no, let's rip it apart. So basically that means that between AT&T and the new company, the 5 companies that is Rocksteady, NetherRealm, Monolith, TT Games, and Warner Brother Games Montreal will be split up. So we don't know where they're going yet. So we could have Mortal Kombat games could be staying at AT&T. We could have Lego games are staying with the new company. You know, it could go really either way. We could see the new Harry Potter game being available from Warner Brothers. Or we could see it exclusively on whatever AT&T is going to be doing. You know, it's
I mean,
really going to go either
right
way.
now. You're talking to a guy who honestly had no idea Discovery was even a company until about 2 days ago. Like I literally thought it was just like, oh, Discovery Channel. You know, like
What a
I never
Discovery
knew
you
that.
made.
Yeah, like I never knew that there was a Discovery that owned you said TLC, right?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting for Cinemax because HBO and Cinemax are kind of competing. Does Cinemax do originals and stuff like that, or do they just?
I
play
think
movies?
maybe, I don't know.
I don't know anybody that has Cinemax. I don't know about you, but maybe just like put Cinemax everything, and I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know if they have originals, so maybe just combine the two and just put everything from Cinemax on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I
I think,
with a name like
it's
Cinemax,
crazy.
I would expect just movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on it, see what's going on. It's gonna be something like Michelle in the chat says HBO always owns Cinemax. So there you go. Yeah, so not competitors, just doing two different things.
Office.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it must just be kind of like a split off of it. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and everything. But now, is
Warrior
the time.
was their. Everybody's saying Warrior is good. That show. It's on HBO Max. Oh, that's so like I don't understand. Like,
What is it called?
it's on HBO Max, but it's also on Cinemax. Like, what's the point? Like, I don't understand. Why are we like?
Warrior.
Why do we have 2 streaming services? You know, like I just don't get that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense to me. But whatever.
These are guys in suits. This one.
Warrior, yeah. I heard it's a really good show. That's what everybody says, but I probably won't watch it. But
well, either way, something that we did watch is here we go. It is time to talk Saw. Na 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 na.
Honestly, the theme is very catchy.
It's catchy.
I will give Saw.
Oh yeah. I'll say this. I'm gonna spoil the last 10 seconds of Spiral right now. No, I'm not really gonna spoil it, but the last 10 seconds has that music over it, and I was like, "Whoa, oh my god!" Like I was like, "Oh my god!" Crazy. These movies are crazy. That is what I will say. All right. So what do you want to do here? Do you want to just jump right into the rankings, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think we go to the rankings, and then we'll go through the rankings. Then when we both talk about Spiral, we'll probably go a little bit more in depth with Spiral. I did like put out quick call to TikTok and Instagram. I made a quick
call out as well.
BS TikTok. I just didn't feel like making one, and we hadn't made one in a while. And one person responded, and this is _Rickhole on TikTok. I said, thoughts on the Saw franchise. And he said, I haven't seen the new movie, but the series was good, but the seventh film was kind of bad. So that's his thoughts. And Instagram, I don't think I got anything back. Did you get anything back for anything?
I did. So I posted in wonderful Facebook group the top 10 for the top 10 show. I said, hey everyone, we're doing a whole show on the Saw franchise on the Planet Film Network tonight. And I know of no better group to get thoughts. Drop your thoughts or rankings if you have them of the Saw franchise below. So we have Christian J. Lorenko. So he said, I saw the first one and thought it was okay. He said he never bothered with the other ones. So the first one was just, didn't grab him enough. Then we have Tim Burge saying, haven't seen Jigsaw yet, but Saw 5 is probably my least favorite. Felt more like a small section of a bigger story that didn't need to be its own movie. So, there you I
Nice.
love the Saw franchise. Oh, sorry, this is Eric Bouchard. I love the Saw franchise. I'm not uber keen on the final chapter or Jigsaw. However, I
Hmm.
haven't seen Spiral, or however, and I haven't seen Spiral yet. But he did give his rankings of the films. So I will go with those now. So this is Eric's rankings. Number one is Saw. Number two is Saw 6. Number three is Saw 3. Number four is Saw 4. Number five is Saw 2. Number six is Saw 5. Number seven, Jigsaw. And then number eight, Saw the final chapter.
Gotcha.
There you go. So very interesting here. We have Michelle in chat saying, I never saw them mainly because the first one's marketing was all about a guy cutting his leg off. Yeah,
Fair.
I mean, that's fair enough. That's not your kind of thing. That's not your kind of thing. I didn't think it was my kind of thing, but I think it might be my kind of thing. Let's talk about. So, what? Do you,
Okay.
all right.
What
Do you want to give
yeah.
overall thoughts on the franchise first? What are your? You
Yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah.
your overall thoughts. Go with. All right.
So-
go with your. What your perception of the franchise was, what you thought you were gonna think, and then what you actually ended up feeling. Because I have three very different things for all of those questions.
Okay, so what I thought going in was I knew that there was like an overarching kind of story. I thought I had seen at least one of them all the way through, and that was incorrect. I don't think I'd ever seen any of them all the way through.
Really? Okay.
In the beginning, I didn't come into the franchise expecting much, and I left pretty much where I kind of thought I would be, I would say.
Did you get nothing?
I mean, I got something.
Okay.
What do you mean get nothing? No, I didn't
Well,
get
you
anything
said
new.
you were like I wasn't expecting much. Did you get not much, or did you get more than you were expecting?
I didn't get much. I came into the first one kind of being I'm not big on the whole. I'm not big like with, body horror stuff like that.
Yeah, like
kind of
torture
grosses me
porn
out.
type thing. Like,
But I'll be honest, after maybe the third one, second one, I was pretty numb to it.
yeah,
Like it. And I don't, like I told you, I don't know how you watch them like back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
I watched them
Like
all in one
I
day.
watched the first one and I go, okay, I need a break. Like I need to, maybe I'll watch the second one tomorrow or something. But I did watch the last on Sunday. I watched like I had three more. I think I had two or three more. Other than Spiral, so I watched those back to back, which I was pretty fine with because at that point I was just like, I was like, okay, I'm numb to this at this point. But like I said, one thing I will give this franchise is they're pretty good on the twists, in my opinion. I think maybe
By and large,
not, maybe in the beginning, maybe not going forward, but
we'll get
I'd
there.
say pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. Oh, by the way, see
Oh, Spiral. I like that poster.
Yeah, I
do
really like that
poster.
poster a lot. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the poster.
Oh.
The spiral is in the stoplight.
Oh, in the stoplight.
And then one of the lines one of the lines on the ground on the road actually has one of the blue boxes in it, but it's like in the shadow. So like the closer you get to the poster, the more you can actually see in it. So it's really cool. But I also really love like the one sheet poster of just Chris Rock's head with the spiral behind it. I actually really like that one too. All right. So I'll like So I really wasn't expecting much. To quote you. I wasn't expecting much. I was just like, all right, let's just get this over with. I had seen the first one like over a decade ago. And I don't even know if I saw the whole thing of the first one. And then I saw Jigsaw in theaters like the first weekend it came out, or like the day it came out, or something like that. Uh, and I was like, whoa, this is like, oh my god, like this is crazy, like Jesus, like there's more of these. I'm good, like that kind of thing. And so I really wasn't expecting much going into this at all. And I will say, like you said, I watched them all except two in one day, in one sitting. I watched the original seven. I watched the original seven all in one. And I shouldn't say in one sitting. Like I watched some of it in my room on the TV. Like I kept moving it with me. So like I moved it from my TV to my phone, like while I was doing laundry, and then finished in the living room. Or actually then went down to the living room, then finished back in my room. But like you said, I think I got numb to it after the first one. I was just like, all right, because I looked away when he was sawing off the foot, but I knew I was kind of like, I think I was a little numb already going into it, because I was like, we're both gonna watch all of these. We're gonna watch them no matter what. So I was like, it's whatever's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. And there were times where I had to look away from the screen, like for sure. Or it was just like a little much, or a little uncomfortable, or like especially the films that I was watching during meals. Really,
I did not eat when I was watching
like
this.
really,
I did not do that. Yeah.
Specifically one involving somebody's midsection and stomach. This. That I was watching while I was eating. Probably shouldn't have done that. That was really bad. But luckily it was only like 5 minutes. The Seth Baxter trap, from, I believe, Saw.
It was
6.
6, yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of Saw 6. That one was real bad. I had to look away for a lot of that, just because it was just so graphic. But I will say, I came out of this, and I've said to many people that aren't you, because for those who don't know, the way we do this is me and TJ have no idea what the rankings are. This is the first time we're giving each other our impression of what we watched. I've said to many people that aren't you, like I talked to our friend Travis about it a lot. Me and him have been talking about it a lot this week. I like don't know if it's just because I watched them all in one sitting, but like I think this might be like one of the best horror franchises, or just like franchises ever.
Yeah.
And I say that taking into consideration the good and the bad. I just think there's like a magic here that they like captured out of nothing, and they just like kept like milking it, and they faltered.
They milked it.
Oh, I know. Like they faltered at places. Like there are 3 movies in like my bottom 3 of my list, in my opinion, obviously, are really a step down. But we'll talk about which ones those are. But like they faltered here and there, that kind of thing. It kind of went up and down for me, but there's just something about like John Kramer that I was just like, all right, man. Like John Kramer is like one of the most oddly, and like Tobin Bell is one of the most oddly like compelling guys. And I'm like, you are like the worst, most demented person. Why am I like not rooting for you, but like, I'm like, yeah, get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that guy is a piece of shit. Like, take him out. That kind of thing. So yeah, so do you want to elaborate more on like? So you agree on like the John Kramer aspect of it?
Yeah, that is one thing that I got the whole ideology type thing. Even though there was points where
it was a little thin at points.
It was thin, and then they're continuing on with the characters that are kind of continuing his legacy, and they're kind of going off.
Yeah,
they're doing things that
the apprentices
he would not agree with,
stuff.
and I'm kind of like, you're losing me here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially because of the whole plot of Saw 3. with
Yeah.
with Amanda's test. It was all about, can she carry on the legacy, and then they kind of throw that away. They kind of throw that aspect away. Like, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're just moving on here. But yeah, so do you want to start with the rankings? Do you want to get them going?
Yeah.
All right. So
How do you want
let's
to do this again? You
uh
want to do a top 10 style?
yeah, we can do a top 10
Okay.
style. So there's only 9 of them, but um I guess we could have done 10. We could have watched like the short film that it's originally based on, but it's whatever. I wouldn't count it as like a full movie though. Yeah, so let's do a top 10 style. So I think we'll just go in order though. Like we'll just go my 9, your 9, or your 9, my 9, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But then we can still punt if it's further up.
Right.
But we don't have to do the like one a piece or whatever, just because.
Okay.
You know, we could talk a little bit more about these because we're only at like an hour and 10 minutes right now. So do you want to go first with your number 9?
Yeah, I'll go first. So my number 9 in my Saw rankings is Saw 4.
My number 9 in my Saw rankings is Saw 4.
This is one of the ones that I think I had the most eye rolls, or just like,
Yes.
shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah.
I did mention to you at one point, I was like, Donnie Wahlberg, when he I mean, this is in a different movie, obviously, that Donnie Wahlberg's kind of main character in, but he also appears in this one.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have much to say, obviously, but
yeah,
you know, it's them kind of building on the whole story after
Donnie
the third
Wahlberg
one.
comes back for 2. He's the main character in Saw 2, and then he comes back for like no dialogue and like 2 minutes of screen time for 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Why? What are you doing? You got better things to do with your life. Anyway, sorry, continue.
The whole I'll be honest, this is okay, I don't know anything about acting. So I've never been an actor, tried to be an actor. Maybe it was the script as well. I thought Betsy Russell, Jill Tuck, when she's being interrogated, I thought that was some of the worst acting I had ever seen. Where she, like, there's the one point in the script where she's like, why are you talking to me? This isn't about me. Why are you interrogating me? It's like, how many times can we say me in like 5, span of like 2 minutes in like a sentence? Like, I like that whole scene. Like, I was just like, this is complete garbage. Like, I don't know,
Jill Tuck, I think, will be a big part of this conversation about the franchise. I got some thoughts on Jill Tuck.
The FBI was pretty, not great either.
Yeah.
I thought the entire kind of, again, I'm trying to think back because they all do mesh together at some point.
Yeah.
Where I'm like literally trying to remember what happens in which movie.
To me, I think in terms of the FBI, I thought in Saw 4, like Strom is his name, like the detective or agent Strom. He was like super overbearing in 4, but then I liked him a lot in 5. But in this one, I feel like it was almost night and day, like character difference. He was way more relatable in 5.
Yeah. So, question for you: when spoiler for Saw 4. So if you don't want to hear it, I guess
it would be like spoilers for all of these.
Yeah, spoiler for all of them.
Yeah.
Did you think that Agent Perez was actually dead?
Yeah.
I thought there was when that happened. No, when that happened, I was like, "There's no way she's dying."
No. Sorry, you mean while I was watching Saw 4?
Yeah, this one.
No,
Saw 4.
I did not.
Yeah, you go. That's like, not killing anybody.
Because I was like, well, if the pieces of it like went far enough that like they hit her brain, I was like, yeah, she would die from that. But I was like, no, she would die instantly from that.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't just be like fighting for her life in the hospital right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she would have died instantly from that if it was going to kill her. So no, in this movie, I did not think she was dead.
Yeah. And that was, again, them kind of doing the whole thing of that would be just killing them to kill them, which if you know anything about Saw, that's not Jigsaw's thing at all.
Yeah.
His whole thing is he puts them in a position to make a choice.
Yeah.
So he's not. He always says, "I never actually murdered anybody." Always says that.
All of Jigsaw's traps, all of
Yeah.
John Kramer's traps are winnable. Are all of them
Winnable.
are
Yes.
escapable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this one again is kind of meshing with everything. Did you like the traps of sophomore?
No, honestly, so Saw 4, like a lot of Saw 4 is you are following the SWAT officer who I'm forgetting his last name.
Oh, right.
But a lot of that you're following, if you have like the characters
Rig.
pulled up. Yes.
Rig.
Yeah.
Lieutenant
You're
Rig.
following him for a lot of it, and it's almost like they think he's being like recruited to be the next Jigsaw or something like that. I actually didn't care for the traps that much. I really like the guy, like the pedo guy in the Danielle says a little disappointed he doesn't just use a saw every time. Well, I mean, fair enough. Was there any movie that didn't feature a saw at all? I don't think so. I think they all at least had one saw. I'm trying to think though. But yeah, I just didn't like that. I didn't like Rig. I didn't like his test. Like, I didn't like that it was. And I think it's because, like, spoiler alert, it's not. It's revealed it's not John Kramer. Like, he's not back from the dead. Which a lot of these movies, the twist is, it's not John Kramer. Like a lot of these movies, that's the twist. And Saw 4 is the first one where that's the twist. Is right. No, it's not him. He is dead. But I didn't like the whole thing of like, you need to learn to be patient, and it was your impatience to save everyone. You have to learn you can't save everyone. And it's like, well, what's the lesson in that? You told him you have 90 minutes. Like, what?
And he had 10 seconds left. And what was the thing in the beginning where they said, don't go through an uncleared door? And then he did it at the end. And the whole thing, was like, what did I tell you not to do? It's like, you didn't learn. And, but yeah, like you said, he had 10 seconds left. What else was he going to do?
Yeah. And the whole point was that he wanted him to let the timer run out.
Right.
And it's like, and also you got Donnie Wahlberg screaming like, "Don't go through the door." Also, how many times can Donnie Wahlberg say, "Who's coming through the door"? Like, you know what I mean? He said, they cut back to him saying it. It had to have been one take that they just kept reusing, because he literally said, "Who's coming through the door?" like five times in a row in the exact same way. And I was like, oh my God, shut up. And I really liked Donnie Wahlberg's character in the beginning. And then,
so last thing I want to say, about Saw 4 is at the end when we find out it's
Mark
Hoffman. Did it ever show her in there or anything? Because I know that was the girl that her parents obviously
Saw 3.
No, that little girl was the kid that was getting beaten. Remember, her parents. She was getting hit, and she was at the cop. So you remember when Hoffman takes the little girl out with him, to act like he's like the hero, right? At the end.
No, that wasn't that little girl.
It wasn't?
No. The little girl that was getting beat was like a flashback to like 10 years ago.
Oh.
That was okay. The little girl was the little girl was Jeff and Lynn's remaining daughter. Because remember, at the end of Saw 3, John tells him like, he's like, I have your daughter. If you take me out, you'll never know how to get her. And she was in the room right behind them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously Hoffman knew that she was there because he planned it. Yeah.
Yeah, which we'll go into later. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
but they still didn't. They still never explained where she actually was, or that she was in the same building. Like, they never explained that.
Okay, so continuing on, I'll go 8.
All
So
right.
my 8 is Saw 5.
My 8 is Saw 5.
I put in
I thought
notes
we were
that
gonna be so different.
well
Oh,
we
did you
could
do
be.
stars, by the way?
I did, yeah.
Okay,
I
I did.
gave
I didn't know how to set stars to private, so I added my stars as notes in
oh I was
Letterbox.
doing them the whole time. You didn't see them.
No, I never looked. To
Oh,
just to
okay.
just to be on the safe side. What did you
Yeah,
give Saw 4?
1.
Really? Oh God, you were.
Yeah,
I was a lot more generous than you were. I could already
yeah.
feel it. Saw 4. Sorry, I gave 2.5 stars.
Saw 5. I gave 1 as well.
Saw 5. I gave 3 stars. I
So
don't know.
to
I was
me,
like,
Saw 4 and 5, I wrote are interchangeable. Um,
mhm.
I think between the second worst and the worst rating. So let me pull up the Saw 5 IMDb to kind of remember what happens in this one.
Yeah.
Um, is this the one? I wrote a specific note while I was watching this.
Okay.
It was the only note I wrote because I'm not writing really notes anymore. Saw 5. So I think this has maybe one of the worst characters in, the whole trap thing, the bald guy that's the firefighter, or what was he? Was he a firefighter? Do you know what I'm talking about? He's the bald guy who dies in the room where they kind of have to crawl into the pipes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh. Um. Where they have to unlock the pipes
And
to save
and it
themselves from the nail bomb.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was like a reporter.
Or a reporter, yeah.
Yeah, the
When
first girl that died was a fire inspector.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was
So
all about the fire.
when they're in there, when they're in there, and the one guy maybe asked 50 times, "How do you know her? How do you know her?" Because this
He
guy
just
knows
never
about
answered.
everybody
Yeah.
in the room. He just never answers. Never. He just like he's like this, and they're all like, "Excuse me," and
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm
He's just
like,
like,
can
let's
you
go.
fucking answer the guy's question?
Yeah.
Like, like,
Yeah, I
can you
was getting
please
very
like?"
annoyed.
I was getting very annoyed. My second biggest problem with the movie was the ending, because literally, so he gets pushed into the glass case,
Yeah.
but how did he know that he was going to get pushed in there? What if the agent landed in there?
Well, I think that's a big thing with all these movies
Yeah,
is
it's just matter of fact. Like, oh,
it's like, well, if like, so Saw 2, for example, right?
yeah,
Donnie Wahlberg goes, "You fucking bastard! Where's my son?"
yeah,
And John Kramer goes, "Don't worry, he's in a safe place." If Donnie Wahlberg had just gone, "Oh, so he's in that safe right there,"
that's safe.
like, would John Kramer have just been like, shit, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's and John Kramer, like, in his scenes and stuff, everybody's always like, how do you know what they're gonna do? How do you know what they're gonna do? And he says, I
Right.
don't. I just, assume the most basic human instincts will hold out, and it's like,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but yeah, exactly. That's exactly why is, well,
Mhm.
if Strom had gone in the case, what would have happened to Hoffman?
Right.
Hoffman would have been stuck. Because, well, he might not have been, because we don't know if the clicker, the little remote Hoffman had to close the door,
Yeah.
we don't know if that was in the cage or if it was like in his pocket.
I'm not giving him that. I'm not giving him
Yeah.
that.
So I don't know. It's kind of something in all these movies that comes
Yeah.
up overnight. Well, it's like, what if they just call you on? What if they just figure it out right away? Then what do you do?
Yeah. What else happened in this one? Oh, the box.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Yeah. What about you? What were your feelings on 5?
So I liked 5. I just similar to the comment on the post that we did in the top 10 group. I just felt like it was like a little bit not unnecessary, but like it was like quick. You know what I mean? I don't know if it needed to be like a full on. I feel like you could have combined this and 6 and made like one good 2-hour movie instead of two okay 90-minute movies. Yeah, like exactly. But like overall, like I said, I enjoyed Agent Strom in this one more. I thought he was more of like a relatable character, but then a pattern of this movie is you get attached to a character and then they're dead. So I was like, when this ended, I was like, okay, well, all right, well, there you go. Like, fuck. But I did like the aspect of like, it was kind of interesting to see how like Hoffman, he had all this heat on him because Strom was like closing in on him, like he was figuring him out. I did think it was interesting to see how Hoffman was trying to flip everything onto Strom. Like everything that Hoffman would do, he would find some way to flip it onto him, which I thought was interesting. And then I did like I liked the whole dynamic of like, okay, when is the shoe gonna drop? Wait, oh nope, never mind. That's Saw 6. Never mind. Then yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. And I gave it 3 stars, like I said.
Yeah, and I gave it 1.
Yeah. All right, you want to do 7?
7, I have Jigsaw.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I don't. How far do you want to punt? How many spaces different would you say? 3? 2?
2, I guess.
Yeah, it's a punt.
Okay.
All right. So my number 7 is Saw 6.
That's a punt.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, what's your number 6?
Well, your number 7 Saw. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Saw the Final Chapter.
My number 6 is Saw the Final Chapter, or Saw 3D the Final Chapter.
Yeah, yeah. I Snapchat you. I go, oh, I wish I had some 3D glasses. I think there's maybe one scene that warrants 3D, and that's it.
Oh shit! Wait.
What?
Wait a minute. I'm all fucked up here.
Oh. Yeah. You can only stare at it for like so long before you figure it out.
I think I put the wrong movie.
Oh.
In an order. Hang on.
Whoops.
Saw 6 was not the one that I thought it was. So I'll say another point on Saw 5 is like I was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop on like Hoffman being found out by like Perez and them. Like that scene where they're about to decode the voice. You know what I'm talking about? And you're like, all right, well, how's this gonna go? Yeah, and I was like, this was one that Brianna watched, I think like 2.5 of them with me, and this is one that she was watching, and I was like, why would they be like, we're about to find out whose voice it is? You coming with us, Mark? Like, you know that both the main FBI guy and Perez already suspect Hoffman. Why would you bring him with you? Be like, no, this is above your pay grade. This is FBI stuff. Yeah. You're not coming. And then you would go to the lab and be like, oh, it's Mark Hoffman's voice. Like, but no, you're like, you bring him with you. And as soon as I saw the coffee pot, I was like, that's going on somebody. As soon as I saw the hot coffee, I was like, that's going on somebody. And then, damn, he torched that whole building. That was crazy.
He did, yeah. Threw the entire matchbook in there. Took the match, lit the matchbook, and then threw it in there.
I was like, Mark, buddy, you got to still get out.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing here?
So what's your 6?
So I guess then my 6 would be Saw 6.
Okay.
and my 7 then is Saw the Final Chapter.
Okay.
So 6 is
Um,
6 and 7 is 7.
Okay. So we're talking about final chapter then.
Yeah,
Because
assuming
my
it's
six
assuming
six
Saw,
Saw
6
6 is
is
punted for me.
still a punt. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Um okay, so final chapter. This is the one I had seen bits and pieces of that I talked to. So I had
Oh,
seen the
really?
first
Okay.
trap.
Yeah.
I had seen the very first trap with the two guys and the girlfriend that was basically dating both of them, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I had seen the white supremacist trap.
Oh, yeah, with
the tire to the
Chester, what's his
face,
name?
the jaw ripped
Yeah.
off, the driving through, and the back stuck to the seat, which was disgusting. Yeah, this is. Here's what I can't stand about these, is
Yeah.
that every single movie, it's a history dump in the last 5 minutes, where it's here's all the things you didn't see, and now I'm working together with Jigsaw for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what's his fucking name? That's kind of Dr. Gordon's thing. Like, you see him in Saw 1, he cuts off his foot and he escapes, and that's the last you see of him until Saw 6.
Yeah.
Or Saw Final Chapter. So like I think probably by maybe the third one, I was kind of over the whole, like history dump at the end, and the na. Like I like
The
the music, but
montages. Yeah.
the montages. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I fucking get it. It's like you can't like, but yeah, and then obviously Jill dying. Is she dying in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the end. This is the end of
The whole
everyone.
Thing. This is the end of Hoffman, right?
This is the end. This everything except for
Yes.
John Kramer coming back in Jigsaw. Everything of all the other movies is over in this one. Yeah.
And the whole Hoffman killing Jill, that made absolutely no sense to me. I go, this is exactly what Jigsaw would not want. So I don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah, like to me, Hoffman, I feel like they tried to set him up like, okay, Amanda, we haven't even gotten to the movies where we talk about Amanda yet, but like Amanda, her whole test in the third one was like, can you take on my legacy? Well, she couldn't. She failed her test in the third one. Spoiler, we'll get there. But then it was like, Mark's the one that can hold up my legacy. He's the one that I will let live through this. But then he just throws it all out the window the second John dies. It's like, what the hell is the point then? Like, why did you have to kill Amanda? Or why did Amanda have to die if she would have done just as good a job as Mark? Because Mark just became a cold-blooded killer at the end of it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just
He was only out for self-preservation at the end.
Yeah, like I said, like this movie again, it came out in 3D. There's probably one.
Oh yeah, here we go.
That was the only scene that was 3D in the entire movie.
The freaking saw was and he literally literally, freaking oh my god, Carrie Elways literally looks at the camera and goes, "Not this time." Yeah. Like in the saw, literally comes out of the camera and then it does the reverse shot and it lands in the hallway and it's like, Jesus Christ, so cheesy.
But yeah, I just didn't think. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't very good to me.
I also didn't like the whole Bobby Dagan or Bobby Deegan or whatever his name was, the whole fake Jigsaw survivor thing. I was like, whatever.
No, that wasn't this one. That was 6.
No, that was the final chapter.
Fake survivor. No, that was the 6th one, I think. With the insurance company?
No.
Oh.
The 7th one. Remember the guy who's he lied about being a Jigsaw survivor? And so he was who the last game was?
Oh yeah, that was this one. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
getting them
yeah.
mixed up. I'm getting
No,
the
it's
two
okay.
characters
There's
mixed
a
up.
listen. There's a lot. We're talking about 9 movies. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot in here.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, that was And then when he goes to get his book signed, and he takes the book, and he's like, I
mhm.
don't want this.
Yeah. He says,
Yeah,
"I don't want
fuck
the
that guy.
cover."
Fuck this guy, by the way. Lying about people's
Oh
traumatic
yeah,
experiences,
totally
going
profiting
to
off of
these,
it.
having these support groups and not knowing what they've gone through.
I did
Um,
like thinking back on it because you see Gordon at the
mhm.
support group and he gives them the old, and you're
Full
like, oh,
clap.
that's kind of odd. But then you realize it's because Gordon knows he was never in one
Yeah.
because Gordon has been working with Jigsaw the whole time.
Oh.
Whoa, what a surprise. Um, like, was John Kramer even
Uh,
fucking doing anything? Like,
I apparently
Jesus.
not. Okay.
All right, you want to talk
So
about
number
Saw?
5, or no, we'll
Well,
talk. What we talk about?
where is your Saw 6? Is it still a punt from number 6 on the
Yes.
list?
Yeah.
It's still a punt. So then
Yeah.
we would talk about your number 5.
Okay. You're gonna be upset.
Oh, okay.
My number 5 is Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Really?
Yes.
That is
Okay.
a punt.
So we're not talking about it, right?
Yeah, that is a punt.
Okay.
My number 5, which might be a
Okay.
punt, is Saw 2.
Punt.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, my number 4, or no, what's your number 4? Sorry.
My number 4 is Saw 6.
All right, so we're talking about Saw 6.
Okay.
All right.
I liked the whole insurance company type thing. Choosing who lives or dies, that whole thing. I thought it was very, kind of prevalent today, in my opinion. Our healthcare system sucks, and I kind of liked how the movie. I mean, the movie touches on it to an extreme, where John Kramer literally says like, "You live or die," and he comes to the insurance company. He's like, I put in my claim for this, experimental cancer treatment, and it's
Yeah.
been denied, and kind of the whole thing with he basically has a team that like finds errors in these applications and then is able
Yeah.
to deny them. I liked
Which,
that
having
whole
worked
kind of
in insurance,
aspect.
it's not that far off. It's
Yeah.
really not that far off. It's
Oh yeah,
really
right. I forgot
annoying.
you worked in insurance.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the IMDb.
Yeah, well, you're pulling it up. I mean, I'll say too. Oh man, I don't know. Like, I feel like I need to rewatch all these movies again. Like, like I said, I ended up liking a lot of them like a lot more than I thought I was going to. I really enjoyed, like from here on out. Yes, they're ranked, but from here on out, I would say I enjoyed the rest of these, like, for sure. Saw 6 to me is the first one on the list that we've talked about that I really thoroughly like enjoyed. Because like you, I really enjoyed the insurance aspect of it. I thought that was a good twist on John Kramer's whole like test thing, and like who lives or dies, like live or die, make your choice. That whole
Yeah.
thing. I thought it was really good, and I liked the game.
Yeah, I liked that we kind of went back to the roots of, which I think again the first one does so well, is
Like,
it's these two people, and even the second one with kind of the group aspect. I like that.
yes,
My problem with these movies, and I'm trying to remember if this crosses all of them, is that like he's making a decision between two innocent people. And that's kind of where the lines get blurred. You know what I mean? Where it's like in the first one and the second one, these people have done, bad things. But like,
Yeah.
Like the lady with the family and the kid who has nothing to live for, or who has no family, they didn't do anything wrong.
well, you got to remember though, these games were set up by Mark.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, where it kind
Yeah.
of loses the whole,
Yeah.
his whole Jigsaw's whole thing is
Mhm.
of like, I'm going to make you value your life. Well, now you're putting, these innocent people's lives in the hands of this person who's guilty, but he's not really being punished for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's killing
Oh
somebody,
yeah,
but
for
like,
sure.
he's walking away alive to the next thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, until the end, of course.
Yeah.
How about that trap that killed his wife or her girlfriend? That was pretty elaborate, don't you think? Like she was chained by her neck, and this whole fucking like furnace thing forms around her.
That's
You know
the
what I'm
other
talking
one.
about? That's the other one?
That's Saw 3D,
that is
yeah.
the other one. God damn it. Which one is this? What is that? What is the
This
end
is
of
the
this
insurance one.
Yeah, but
You
what
were
happens
right.
at the end?
Well, that's with you see the family, you see the mother and son, and you're like, oh, that must be his wife and
I
kid
do. Yes,
the
yes,
whole
yes,
time,
yes,
but then
yes.
you find out it's not. It's some random guy's wife and kid who you saw at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, sorry.
And then the reporter in the other cell ends up being the insurance
His
guy's
sister.
sister. And then at
Yeah.
the end, he thinks he's done, but then he winds
Yeah,
up
and
in
then
the cell in between them, and
That kid goes, but I can, and he kills him.
he kills him. Yeah, because you find out that the insurance guy killed the dad basically by not covering.
Also,
him.
that kid
Is
played Roderick in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Yep,
absolutely.
I was like, that kid looks really familiar.
Yeah, I was like, is that Roderick? Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, But this is, but I am correct in saying this is the one where he kills people that like,
yes,
like the,
yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, because it's the whole thing of like, yeah, man.
And the whole like merry-go-round thing too. That's
oh my god, that was crazy.
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
that was
that
like
was
10
brutal.
minutes though. I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah. So.
Oh my
next.
god, I think you guys should do the same thing with the Halloween franchise in October when the next film comes out.
Oh fuck me.
That might be.
That could be. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that might be. We might have to make a few cuts. I don't know if we're gonna watch all like 15.
I think there's 9 or 10.
Isn't it? I thought there was
There's definitely not 15.
I thought
think you're thinking of Friday the
H2O.
13th.
I thought H2O was the 10th one.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, I might be thinking of Friday the 13th. Because Friday the 13th, I think there's exactly 13 of them now.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. But yeah, we could definitely do that. For sure.
All right.
Yeah, I really like 6. What is your star rating for 6?
6 I gave 2.
You gave this one 2 stars?
Yeah.
Oh my god. See, all right, this is I think where we always
Again, I
my
can't
rating,
recall.
I'm always like more generous, I feel.
I can't recall everything I didn't like about it. I definitely did not like a lot about it.
Yeah.
It right now, but I know when I was watching it, I was like, what the fuck? You know, like come on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
See, to me, I think the difference is like you're rating them and both are totally fine. I'm just saying I think the thought process is like you're rating them compared to like all of film. I'm just rating them compared to each other.
I mean, I had to
the
compare them
rating.
to rank them to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a movie, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like I'm doing more the other one,
but,
which
either
either one's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave it 3.5.
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Just a little bit more than fresh, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right, so where are we at? So your 5 was 6,
that was my number.
Right? That was your number 5.
Yeah. No, that was my number, or final chapter, right? No. My Saw 6 was number 4.
Okay. So my number 4 was the pun from earlier.
Okay.
Which was Jigsaw.
Okay. That was my number 7.
Yeah.
The antagonist at the end, again, I feel like has no reason to work with him. Am I wrong in that?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No.
Sorry. Yeah.
Like there's like, and it's again, it's another one of the history dumps at the end where, you know, and don't get me wrong, every time Tobin Bell shows up, I'm happy. I like him as this character. So when he showed up, I did think it was real for a minute, where I was like, wait, how how is he alive? Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna explain this, or are we just gonna, be like, this one I remember working while I was out. I don't remember, the box office or anything. You said you watched it in the theater.
I wonder if I was working when it was out.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah, I was.
So basically, what happened was everything you were seeing was the beginning, right? Like it was like the time was flipped.
Oh yeah, I definitely was working. Wow. Ooh, I did not think it came out that recently.
Yeah,
I feel like
2017. It's very recent.
Oh my god, I feel like 2017 was so long ago. Yeah, so basically, this is where I have some problems with it. I don't know, man. Maybe I ranked all these wrong because I do have some. I feel like I like this one less than I like 6. But as we've done with previous lists in the past, I'm going to say we have the right to move our rankings until the end of the episode, and then we'll run through them again. Because yes, so the idea of this is that this is the game we're seeing is the first game. How? There are flat screen televisions in this. There are closed circuit security cameras with audio relaying it to the different contestants. There's all these intricate traps and all these intricate things. Everybody's dressed like it's like modern time, like it's 2017. Like even just the technology. Like how did John Kramer do all this and build all it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make any sense that this would be the first game. Like that is what I just can't get over.
When did they say that it's the first game? Like the first game ever?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Is that it's supposed to be set before Saw 1. Yeah, the assistant, the girl who's like obsessed with Jigsaw, the spiralizer thing, right, with the spiral in it. She was like, legend says this was one of his first designs used on an early game, one done before all the others. Like that whole thing. They literally said it was done on like the game that was before all the others. And it's like, you're telling me that this happened before he locked Adam and Dr. Gordon in a grungy ass basement? Like, what are you talking about? He went from this 5 people, needles, acid, saws, buckets, like what? Like the guy with the like like the doll like on the perfect.
He has a name. Danielle told me he has a name. Let me look it up real quick.
Isn't it Jigsaw?
No.
The doll has a different name?
She'll probably put it in the chat, yeah. Okay. She told me last night. Billy, that's his name.
Billy.
Because it's the doll that he was making for his kid originally before, his
Bro,
wife
why would you make that for a kid?
I don't know. Yeah.
Also, why would you name a kid Gideon in like the 2000s?
Yeah, Gideon.
Like, what are you trying to do to him?
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know. Oof.
Billy the Puppet. Yep.
Billy the Puppet. There you go.
One thing I did like in this movie is that they gave Billy the Puppet glow eyes. His eyes glowed. I thought that was cool.
I thought that was cool.
His red eyes.
What a creepy
motherfucker. I thought Ryan was maybe the most annoying character. When he has to pull the lever because they're getting suffocated by that grain. I was like, can you pull the fucking lever?
I can't do it. Shut the fuck up and pull the goddamn lever. Like, you're the one who was an asshole and went for the exit when it says no exit.
No exit.
And they were like, don't go up there. Like, don't try. And he was like, we gotta try. He was like, yeah, let's go. He was like, why would we not try to go in the one place he doesn't want us to go? That's probably where the real exit is. And they were like, are you a moron? Like, and he takes one step and his leg goes right through it. You brought that upon yourself. Like, shut the fuck up.
I thought it was dumb that he was the one that survived. Did you think that was stupid? I thought it should have been the girl, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they both ended up dying, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, he ended up being like the Adam, because he was alive but no escape.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's his name being Logan, Dr. Logan, Dr. Nelson. Him being
Yeah.
he's a doctor, right? Or is he just like
Yeah, he's like the coroner.
the coroner? Yeah, him being it, I was like, this just makes no fucking sense. Like, why?
And
There's no
then
reason.
it wasn't even just like, oh, here we go with another apprentice reveal. You know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't like he was another apprentice. He says, and John and I started on that day. We built a legacy that would last, whatever. Like he was equally Jigsaw
To Jigsaw
with
no.
John Kramer. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, you can get away with being like, okay, like Dr. Gordon, like he was working in secret in the shadows, like that kind of like, or like even to a certain extent, like Amanda and like Hoffman. But like, you can't be like, oh, John Kramer was only half of Jigsaw.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just make a twist like that. It felt so dumb. Like, I'm glad that this one, you know, it's not as connected to the other ones. Like, and obviously it happened. We know from like they reference this a little bit in Spiral. Like we know it happened. We know they're not retconning anything. That's another, you know, big bravo to this franchise that they don't throw anything away. Yeah, they don't throw anything away. They take even the mistakes, they take them like in stride, and they will film like a flashback. Like they'll like in like Saw 6 and 7, they brought back like Amanda. And they like to film a flashback to make it make sense. And I always salute that to this franchise, that they're just like, nope, everything that happened. We're not retconning anything. Even in Spiral, everything that happened, I mean, we're not quite to Spiral discussion yet, but everything that happened in all these movies did happen. Like, I was so thankful for that, because there's a moment in all of these where you're like, okay, if you wake up chained to something, or if you wake up in some sort of a situation like this, Jigsaw is a internationally world known, and not even just Jigsaw, John Kramer, the serial killer who locks people up and tests them and puts them in games and has the little puppet Billy. All of that is like worldwide. He's on the cover of like Time magazine. He's on the cover of all these
that stuff
like
is so
novels and stuff.
It's like
the top. It's like a John Kramer, the mind of the mastermind or whatever. It's like it's like I get that they have a picture of him like that because like he wrote books too. So I get that like that picture exists, but I'm like, why would you go with the one where it's like John Kramer going like, and it's like the mind of a madman or something.
Yeah.
But like I was glad that in Jigsaw and then also in Spiral, they're immediately like, oh, is this Jigsaw? You know what I mean? Like, is this Jigsaw again? Like, no, he should be dead. That kind of thing. Because it's like, at a certain point, people would immediately know that it's Jigsaw, and that's I think why the game worked too, like a little bit, that it was a flashback, was because like I was like, okay, if this is set in the modern times, how are all 5 of these people not like, oh fuck, we're in a Jigsaw trap? You know what I mean? Like, you would know immediately. Well, true, yeah, but still, I mean, everybody in Jigsaw that was in the game.
They dig up his body, and his body's not there.
Yeah.
Which.
Wait, so where was his body?
That's what I was just thinking. Did we ever come up with that?
That was never answered. Okay, so this is what I'll say. I don't know if I want to say it now or say it at the end. I guess I'll say it now. So I was talking to our friend Travis about this. Mm-hmm. I actually would love maybe one of the Spiral sequels. I would actually love at this point if they pulled some shit and were like, one of these movies, like, no, John Kramer is back. Because they've never done that. The funny thing about this is that John Kramer was in 4 movies after his death. Or, sorry,
he only appeared in flashbacks.
5 movies after his death, only in flashback or recordings. When he died, he died. Like, spoiler alert.
He did, yeah.
Oh, that's what I said a little bit earlier, is that they're always like, how is John Kramer back? And the twist is always, he's not, he's dead. I would love one of these twists to be like, holy fuck, he's actually alive. Like what? Like holy shit. How do they? I mean, I don't know how they would explain it.
I mean, when he died, it was like he's dead.
It was
like when
yeah.
yeah.
But you could do some shit with like, I would buy like a like memory swapped like twin situation or something.
Sure.
In a movie like this, they could definitely go there. Like they're playing around with all kinds of weird medicine and like medical procedures and stuff that are like what the
Right.
like okay like I actually think that would be a cool twist because I really like, we'll talk about it when we get to Spiral, I really like Tobin Bell in these movies. I really like his character and I really like him as an actor. But yeah, so yeah, that's our thoughts on Jigsaw. I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it 1.5.
Oh my god. Okay, so then what is your 4?
My 4 was Saw 6.
Okay. Oh man, so what's your 3?
My
Saw
3
2.
was Saw 3.
So you're okay. So your 3 was Saw 3.
Yes.
All right. My 3 is Saw 3.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Jeff and Lynn.
Saw 3.
Let me know. Amanda.
Jeff,
big one.
I'm trying to think of his traps.
He had all the people
guy
involved
being
with the
kind of-
son's death.
Right.
So he had the judge and the pig guts. He had the frozen woman.
Yeah.
And then the guy on the rack.
So here's what I'm talking about with this, where it's like, these are people who, maybe haven't done anything illegal per se.
Well, the one guy did kill his kid. But he did go to jail for it.
He did. He did go to jail. So maybe that's kind of where you start to lose the whole, who are we actually punishing here? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are we punishing
Jeff?
I don't
or
know.
are we
It
punishing
gets
the
kind
other
of
people?
muddied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Jeff, like, he's not really being punished because he's the one who's gone through the tragedy. He lost his kid. But obviously he has to make these decisions on who to survive, and he tries to save all of them.
Yeah. He always, okay, this is my thing with Jeff, okay?
Yeah.
I actually really liked this movie. I really liked Jeff as the main protagonist. I really liked Lynn as well. I really liked Saw 3. Like, I genuinely was like, damn, that was, like, actually good. Like, that was the first one, because I was like, 1, obviously, we'll talk about 1. 2, I really liked. And then 3, I was like, 3 is when I was like, oh no, I'm gonna like this franchise. I was like, oh no, they're like winning me over with like all the crap that's going on. So I really like Jeff as the protagonist. But he was doing the most annoying shit where it was like, you have 60 seconds to decide whether they should live or die. You know what I mean? And he would be like, I don't, okay, all right, I'll do it, I'll save you. And then he would have like 10 seconds left. And he did that every time. Maybe just decide to save the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the only person that he was able to save was the judge. And then the judge ended up getting killed which, can we just talk about the way that the judge dies? That there's a key, there's a box that has a key, and there's a shotgun pointed right at the key. And Jeff, he pulls it off really well. He like sticks his hand in like at the side without his face there, because he's like, oh,
makes
if
sense.
I just don't put my face in front of the shotgun, I'll be fine.
Right, yeah.
And he does it. He pulls the key out and he's like, oh shit. And then who's fucking standing 2 feet behind him? The fucking judge. And then the shotgun goes off and it shoots the judge in the side of the head. Move! Yeah. Pay attention. Also, the judge, like 5 times the judge goes, Jeff, you gotta do something. You gotta do something about this. You're a team. You do something. Why are you just standing there? Like that pissed me off to no end about the judge. Sorry, I don't know I think my mic just peaked all over the place because I got really heated. But I was like, bro, he saved you. You're a duo now. You need to help him too. Like, what the hell? What? Like, the judge was just standing there in front of a shotgun. Duck, move. Do something. Oh my god. Also, that was kind of mean of John to be like, you cling too much to your dead son's belongings, burn them. Like what? Like that was a little rude. Like that, I don't know.
He is being mean. He's being mean to his daughter too. It shows him like being an asshole to his.
Yeah.
Do we ever see his wife? Oh no, his wife. Okay.
Yes.
We'll
talk.
see his wife? Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Throughout the whole movie, in fact. But yeah,
this is one of the Saw 3 is one of the ones that in Saw 6 we go back. They're one of the later ones where we go back and go, oh my god, it was
yeah,
somebody else was pulling the strings behind the scenes.
We literally revisit the ending of Saw 3 in 3 different movies.
Yeah,
because we see it again at the beginning of Saw 4, and then we go back again in Saw 5 to the same room. And I was like, wait, what the hell? Because you find out that Saw 3 and Saw 4 are happening at the same time. Which I think that's another detail I loved about this franchise was how it played with like your perception of events, how it played with the timeline. It was like you might not know it, but 2 movies might be going on at the exact same time. And then they link up at the end. Like the end of a movie might be, or the beginning of a movie might be the end of another one, or the end of a movie might be the end of another one. Like, I thought that was very interesting. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Amanda, I thought was pretty freaking annoying.
Oh my
I
God,
did feel for her because
she's a lot better in this one than 2.
Yeah. She kind of has like this relationship with Jigsaw, John Kramer, where I kind of, felt for her, and I don't like where he does these things where like they need help, like actual medical help, and instead he puts them in a trap, and like she has a drug addiction. Yeah. And basically to change her, he puts her through this test in the first one, and that's how she's changed. And I just don't I don't like that. You know what I mean? And I get like his whole thing, like, because his wife ran the clinic and she was a person there, and he's like, don't you get it, these people are never gonna change.
Yeah. And then later Amanda comes back in another movie, in another flashback, because he's like, see, Jill, like see, I
fixed her.
I fixed her, it does work. And I was like, oh shit, Amanda, and that was it. Like that was the only thing she was in.
I do feel so, like I felt for her in some ways, and then like obviously she shoots Lynn when she's running to Jeff, and then Jeff shoots Amanda, and then Lynn is sitting there dying, and then John says, if you want to see your daughter again, like you won't kill me or something like that.
Yeah.
Or he says, you'll forgive me, and then he goes, I forgive you, and then he slits his throat with a fucking like hand
with
saw.
the saw. Yeah.
Then,
spoiler alert,
and
John
then,
Kramer
course,
gets killed with a saw.
And then we have Lynn, her face blows up.
Bro.
Yeah.
What a tough way to go.
But
what an idiot Jeff is, though.
If Saw was a trilogy, I think that would have been maybe a good way to end it. Maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
still,
the first
game over.
The first 3 movies make a really good trilogy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way Tobin Bell just game over.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Saw 3, I gave 2.5.
Oh wow, you came all the way up to 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
Wow. I gave it 4.
Wow.
I really liked Saw 3. I really did. I gotta say, really did. Okay, so what's your 3 then? Has to be Saw 2.
No, my 3 was Saw 3.
Oh, sorry. Then your 2 has to be Saw 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
Let's
talk
2?
About it. Well, we got to talk. My Saw 2 was the pun from earlier, so we got to talk about that.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Saw 2. One thing I hated, Don Wahlberg. I Snapchat you. I said, Donnie Wahlberg. I can't with Donnie Wahlberg in this movie.
Did you notice how big his suit was? Did you notice that he was wearing?
I did not know.
He was literally wearing like a suit that was like 3 sides. He's swimming in it.
Is he?
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm just looking at like the
okay.
images on IMDb.
Yeah, like if oh my god, like Donnie Wahlberg. I just can't get over his suit. Anyways,
So this is the group one. This one
yes, this was the
liked
house.
the group.
Yeah.
I loved the group aspect. What's his name needs to suck a dick.
The big guy.
What's his name? The big guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hated him when he throws Amanda in that pile of needles. It's like what is this gonna solve?
Yeah.
Like he's like those are the two most hated characters I have in this franchise is the guy who won't answer the question,
and the big guy from the second
and the big guy from Saw 2.
Yeah.
Saw 2, the big guy from Saw 2 is the worst guy.
Oh yeah, he's the worst. He's the worst one in all of them.
In all of them.
Yeah,
he's just
absolutely
he's just this
terrible.
guy who like wants to get out of here, but he doesn't want to play by the rules. And this is another thing with Saw 2. Saw 2 is another very matter of the fact, like what I said in Saw 5, where at the end when Donnie Wahlberg's like, "Take me there," and he drives him there, and he waits in the car, and then Amanda, it turns out this is the big twist in Saw 2 is that Amanda has been working with him the entire time, and
which the first time they did that twist, it was great.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and she locks him in, where Adam and Dr. Gordon, right?
Yeah,
where they died, and then she gets in the car, assumingly, and drives him away.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what if, she didn't lock him in there and, and I did like the whole, like, where he's like, Donnie Wahlberg has him, he's sitting down with, John Kramer, and he's like, I just want to talk to you, you'll have
that. I love that twist even better.
I thought that was good.
Was
I was like, oh, you got me. And the safe opens and he's just breathing oxygen. Yeah. And I was like, you got me on that one. I'll give you that.
Like literally, he was like, if he had just sat there. See, to me, what did I complain about Saw 4? I didn't like the whole UK reaction guy. Welcome. We're talking Saw franchise, ranking them. We're just about to get to some Sprial talk in just a little bit here. Stick around.
Yeah, it's a long episode. Jesus.
What did I complain? Well, it's okay. We're doing a whole franchise, and there was a lot of news. What was my complaint about the whole rig thing? I was like, the whole like, oh, you should have listened, so that's why you fail. Like that kind of thing. Like I was like, shut up in that movie. Yeah. But in Saw 2, I think it was done really well. With the whole, like, I just want you to sit here. I just want you to talk to me. And then you'll have your son. If you can talk to me for 2 hours. Or not even. He was just like, if you could talk to me for, like, however long was left on the timer. He was like, if you could talk to me for, like, an hour and 10 minutes. Just sit here. You'll have your son back. He'll be safe. He'll be safe.
Yeah.
Oh. I liked that. And then it was like, well, you couldn't do it. You got Donnie, his temper got to him, and that was it. Because I think that was it. I think I enjoyed the whole thing of like his temper, like Donnie Wahlberg's temper, and the way that he acted. I think was more of a compelling character motivation than the SWAT guy in 4.
Yeah. One thing I will say is Jigsaw's whole thing. I just remembered because I always remembered there was one death in one of these movies where I'm like, well, technically he did kill that person. The one girl who is, I forget was she a teacher or something? She's blonde. I think she's the blonde in this. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let's see if I can find her name. I think it's,
I'm trying to think.
Is it Laura?
In Saw 2?
In Saw 2. There's the one girl played by Beverly Mitchell. So Beverly Mitchell plays Laura.
I don't know. I can't.
Do you remember who Laura is?
No.
I think she's kind of like freaking out the entire time.
Oh, she's like the blonde one in the house?
So she just dies from gas exposure. So technically he did kill her. Because she's never stabbed. She's never, like hunted down by the big guy. She just can't go any longer. So technically, he did kill her.
Technically, he would be, yeah, directly. That would have been direct, maybe not murder, but
So
like direct manslaughter. I don't
yeah,
know how that would work, but yeah, that
um,
that definitely, yeah, it would have been. Because what would his defense be? Well, I gave her the choice to move faster.
exactly
Like,
to find
well,
the antidote.
yeah, like, well,
Um,
meh, I don't know about
um,
that.
I thought the whole thing with like him being this kid's son and Donnie Wahlberg's whole thing is that he's lied to get people thrown away in jail,
Yeah,
and
he's
basically
planted evidence and stuff.
all these people in the house are people that Donnie Wahlberg has put in jail
Yeah,
through planted evidence or some crooked thing. Um, and yeah, I did kind of like that whole thing where it's like, you're this guy's son. This guy put me away for blah 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 years for planting evidence, stuff like that. I did kind of like that. Um, and I liked the ending, I guess. Um, yeah, I didn't really have. I feel like this. Yeah, I thought this warranted second best in the franchise for me, in my
yeah.
opinion.
I
I
thought
gave
it
it
was really good. Yeah,
I gave it 3. Gave it 3.
oh, look at that! I gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, my number 2 is the punt from earlier, which is a little movie, came out in a little year, called 2021, and that is Spiral from the Book of Saw.
I think we were watching 2 different movies. I'll be
Are you
honest.
joking? Okay,
I
what?
when I okay, so I when
Can
I
you just tell me this?
you know
Are you saying you did not like the movie?
I did not. I thought it was middle of the pack in the franchise. I thought missed opportunity to have. Sorry, this is full spoilers for Spiral. I apologize. Um, real quick, full
Chris Rock
spoilers for
should stick
Spiral.
to acting.
If you don't want to, if you don't want to get spoiled, mute and then we'll probably do this when we're done
Yeah.
talking spoilers for Saw. I thought it was a huge misstep not to bring John Kramer back or cameo in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, he's on the posters. Chris Rock, I don't know what you're talking about. No offense. He was, I think it was half him and half the script.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, just I didn't think he was kind of, I think he was kind of all over the place at some points. Like when he's kind of having the argument in the police station and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of freaking out.
I
thought,
can't trust anybody at this goddamn
Yeah.
precinct. Yeah.
I thought it was all kind of,
He was very manic
yeah,
in the whole
like,
movie.
but again, like I said, I blame some of that on the script. Like
Yeah.
there was like his exchanges with Sam Jackson when they're in the apartment. I was like, what the fuck is this? When he goes to the church and they compare punching a drunk cop to shooting an unarmed person in his apartment building. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard.
Wait, what?
So you know how when he goes to the church, I forget the character's name.
Yeah.
He goes to the church for
I
the
would say
first time.
Danielle in the chat, she is really ragging on Chris Rock. Really not a
I don't
fan.
I didn't really think he was that good. Like when you were like thumbs
Wow.
up, I was like,
Well, I
okay,
just said,
maybe.
well, that was also like that was only like 10 minutes into the movie. I was like, oh,
So he goes to the church and he's with the kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
and his whole thing is that he was snitching on cops and he was reporting them because they were very dirty, which this might be the worst police department in the entire world. Apparently every single cop is crooked except for Chris Rock. Even Sam Jackson, he was
Come
letting
on,
he
you
was
mean
letting
the
it go.
police? You mean the police department of Metro, whatever that means? No city. You ever notice they never say what city it is? They just say this city needs. It's like it's nothing, and then it's just the Metro Police.
This might be one of those. This might be a Rise of Skywalker moment where I gradually talk you down on this movie.
Oh God. Well, I'll say this: it's already no longer at my number 2.
So when he
I've
goes
been
to the
editing it.
church,
Yeah.
he goes to the church, and this is the former cop who,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know how
Pete, right? Yeah. His old
yeah,
partner.
yeah, yeah. So Pete is like, oh, there was a drunk cop here at the AA meeting or whatever or something, and he like knocked him out, and he said something like, oh, nobody ratted on me, but but when I had to do what I had to do, which is he had to shoot
Oh,
somebody.
yes. Yeah, I see what you mean.
That's not
Yeah.
that's not comparable at all. Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? Like, who writes that and is like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I think it's like from that guy's perspective. It's like
I get
knocking
it, he's
somebody out
crooked.
is just as bad as just as whatever as like killing somebody.
No. It's not. I'm sorry. I don't care how messed up you are. It's not comparable at all in anybody's head. I thought they could have not picked could they have picked a less menacing voice? Let alone a fucking, like, what the fuck is that? I can't even do it. I want to be able to imitate it, but I can't.
Hang on. Hang on. What's his name? Detective Banks, right?
Yeah, spoiler, it's Detective Banks, by the way, which Danielle called in the beginning. And I was like, it's either this. She was like, it's either the kid. And I was like, it's either this.
No. I meant, what's his name? Chris Rock is Banks. The other guy's Shank.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shank, yeah.
Which, like, Shank. Okay, yeah.
Shank.
I didn't see that coming. But yeah, he's like, Detective Banks, you have like, okay. So I'll say
I
this.
looked at Danielle. Sorry, real quick. I looked at Danielle. I was like, I really wish Jigsaw was in this. Like, this was when I was like, I never knew how much I like John Kramer as a character until this movie. Okay.
So I'll say this. Like I said, I threw all these rankings together immediately after I watched all of them. So like my rankings are kind of all over the place. But I will say this. Spiral, I've moved it down to 4 on the list because I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
I've been I think me and TJ, without telling each other straight out, I think we've both been hinting at each other that we were going to talk about how big of an absence John Kramer is in this movie. Like we've said it a couple times throughout talking here, that we were like,
he has pictures, there's pictures of him.
Yeah, but the fact, okay, to me, not having Tobin Bell in this movie at all, I think not only was it like kind of a huge misstep and a huge missed opportunity, but I actually would really, I'm genuinely, I really want to actually know the behind the scenes story, because
now actually I will tell you,
Tobin Bell,
I know it. I don't know.
I really
Danielle
hope I'm
actually
not
read
disappointed.
to me. Danielle read to me last night that apparently he said the only way he would come back is if they went into the background of Billy the doll. That was the only way he would come back, is if they talked about the origins of the doll, which I was like, fine with me. I like that doll. Like, which again, more power to him.
Okay.
I mean, when I think,
I
think
better
Jigsaw.
then. Yeah, I feel better then, because I was telling Travis, like I said, I keep talking about him, but because me and him have been working a lot together since I've seen Spiral, so I was talking a lot about it, and I was like, I would be really upset with Chris Rock and the whole production.
Yeah, if they didn't.
If it was something that they did not ask him to come back. Because this franchise wouldn't exist without Tobin Bell.
No. Right.
He is the anchor. He is like, yes, it was started by Lee Winnell and James Wan, but they have both, Lee Winnell and James Wan, have gone off to do whole other universes on their own. But Tobin Bell stuck out from the first one all the way through this. So I told Travis, I was like, if it's a situation where I find out that he was up for it and they just didn't ask him, or they were like, no, we're okay, I would have been really, really upset. But knowing that, I mean, what you just said doesn't mean they asked him. It just means he said that's the only way I would come back. So that makes me feel a little bit better, but still the situation is the same. Not giving in to that one demand, not only that, but to not include Tobin Bell, to not include John Kramer, to not include Billy the Puppet, and to not include the original voice what are you doing?
I thought that was so stupid.
Like, it's
I
literally, it's not even Jigsaw at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they do
what is
say
the
it's a
point?
copycat, which it is.
Yeah, but they're all copycats, but they all are still referred to as Jigsaw.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like this one, it was like it wasn't even Jigsaw. It was like the pig doll, and then the voice. Oh my god, that voice.
I thought the voice sucked.
Like that voice really like the voice actually I gotta say as big of a stan as I've become of this franchise. And the very first trap, it's literally the movie opens and you're like in the first trap. Like he's like running through he's doing a little Jim Hopper run through a carnival, and then he's all of a sudden he's in the first trap, and when the TV turns on, is this cutting in and out for anyone else?
Yeah, it did for me, kind of like on the preview.
Is it all still one video though?
It's fine. Yeah, it's still the same video, but it'll like I think it like flashes for a second or something. I'm not really sure, but
okay. Well, we probably got
we'll be wrapping
maybe
up
like
soon.
like 15.
We have the
minutes
audio,
left, so we're gonna
so
okay.
we'll be okay.
Yeah. And we have the whole video recorded at the very least if I have to upload it again. The very first trap, like when the TV turned on, and I was like, first of all, like the only thing they kept was like the pig mask. Like that was the only thing they.
I'll be
they
honest,
kept.
those cheap jump scares, they get me. I'm not a big horror movie person, so like jump scares just scare me.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing. Like again, I told Danielle when we were done watching this, I was like the traps, like I was just numb to them at this point. Like I felt like I had seen it before, and I asked her what she thought of the traps. She said not very inventive. They were kind of like like
I didn't care really much for any of the traps in this. I don't think.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Because
I liked the
traps
finger
are like
ones.
boom, 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 boom. It's like it happened in like 2 seconds.
So we've talked a lot about this franchise already. And some of the things that we've been talking about that we haven't really addressed directly is that these movies are kind of split up half and half. Half of the movies are a crime story unfolding where there are multiple murders where they are killed in traps. And then the other half of this franchise is movies based around games of groups of people or duos of people. The game ones, to me, are the better of the movies.
Yes, I'd agree.
Saw 3, that's why I think I liked Jigsaw more, because it had the game aspect to it. That like Saw 6, Jigsaw, Saw 3, that kind of thing. I really like that deal where it is difficult decision making, the puzzle aspect of that's what I don't like. Is I don't like when they lose the puzzle aspect of it. And in Spiral there was no puzzle to the traps at all.
Yeah.
Literally at all. Let alone we are so far away from the John Kramer days of winnable. They're just death. You know what I mean? Like that's it. The guy
Oh yeah, so the feed, sorry real quick. The feed just like kind of buffers, it seems like, so maybe it's just I don't know.
Okay.
But it's fine.
It might just be because we're going really long.
Yeah.
But in Spiral, it's like there's no puzzle, there's no challenge, there's no thought to it. Yes, he tells them you have to do this and then you do that. But what happens every time? Every time, the very first guy, you can avoid being hit by the train, but you have to rip your tongue out. You have to make a leap of faith and rip your tongue out. Well, the guy goes to make the leap of faith, and then by the time he does it, he gets hit by the train. The guy with his fingers being pulled off. Sacrifice your own fingers so that you can escape being electrocuted.
Yeah.
He almost gets them all the way off, and then he gets electrocuted. It's like it was every single one of them. It was just getting killed over and over and over again. It was just like inventive ways to kill people. It wasn't like inventive traps and stuff like that. So overall for me, I think Spiral was a good entry. I think it was a good refresh for the franchise, but I think it needs to strike a better tone and it needs to do something more inventive, and honestly, it needs to bring Tobin Bell back.
And this was the guy who directed this one was the guy who directed the second, third, and
Yeah,
sixth. Was another one, right?
sixth
Second,
and seventh,
third.
I think.
Yeah.
No,
Second,
seventh.
Second,
Yeah,
third,
second,
seventh.
third,
Okay.
and seventh. Yeah.
So, 2 out of 4, I guess, 50% bad.
Oh, and fourth.
And the fourth one, which is maybe the worst one. I basically agree with everything you said. Like I said, I don't know. I think it was the script, maybe a little bit. Sam Jackson's in it for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought, the whole.
Oh, we should talk about the twist too. Like the twist was, we talked about it a little bit, but the twist was like nothing. I mean, it was like, are you okay? Really?
Oh, that he was the
that it was
kid
his partner. That was his partner.
Yeah.
Like,
he's playing the baby sound on the laptop.
yeah, Charlie's just going to sleep.
But when how does he not say at the end where the elevator's closing, he doesn't go, game over? How does he not do that?
I know.
How is there no game over? How do you not say game over in the Saw movie?
he just goes, yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, he's saying on this franchise because there's not going to be a sequel. And that guy,
I swear,
like,
there better be a sequel. This better not have killed the friend. Like,
and the whole what I was saying to Danielle, I was like, that guy is just not menacing. Like John Kramer's menacing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like he's like
John
scary.
Like Tobin Bell is menace. Like that's why I was saying, like he strikes the perfect balance of he is menacing and endearing.
Yeah,
in the same person.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he did it.
I did tell Danielle, I go, oh, he did get me with the whole like tattooing his dad's name into the guy's skin and then sending. I was like, oh, you got me with that one,
Oh, you know what? You know what game I actually did, or what trap I did like was the bottle one at the end.
Oh yeah,
that I thought was good, but again, that was so brutal. Like that was so much more brutal than like anything John Kramer would have done. Those bottles were going at like 100 miles an hour. How is he supposed to get him out?
Okay. I'm sorry. Last thing I'll say about this movie, which thinking about it, maybe you can enlighten me.
Yeah.
In any of the movies, was he ever like, because what's his name? Shank goes on this thing at the end about, Jigsaw said, you know what he said? Spirals are like, blah, blah, blah. Does he ever say that?
No.
In any of the movies?
No.
That's why I was
the
like,
only thing
the only spirals I know of are like on the doll's
Billy
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he never is like, oh, spirals, or this whole thing, like, oh, we'll go
symbol of rebirth
like
or whatever the hell he was talking about.
And it is from the book of Saw to say like he, like came up with it from him. You said he wrote books, but I don't remember that ever being like a thing.
Oh,
right?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said that like earlier. You're like, yeah, I know he wrote, like Jigsaw said you're something like that.
Oh, well, no, I meant like when he was like an engineer, like he wrote like civil engineering books.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I said like they had a publicity photo of John Kramer, I was like, yeah, it's from like he like wrote like because like Hoffman was reading like his civil engineering textbooks or whatever.
Right. Yeah, like I think it would have been cool if there was actually like a book like
a John Kramer's diary or something. Yeah, that would have been really cool.
That would have been cool,
That would have been very cool. Because it's like even if he's not on screen, it's like you feel like he still is influencing it. Like Shank is taking ideas for traps Kramer never did or something like that. That something like that. That would be really cool. But they didn't do any of that. Did they?
They didn't do anything of that. They said from the book of Saw, so.
Yeah, let's talk about a good movie.
All right, last one. Number 1.
Which is
I think we're both Saw number 1. Yes.
Saw number 1. 2004. Lee Winnell, Carrie Elways, directed by James Wan.
Sorry, I gave Spiral 2 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
Okay, so Saw. I thought obviously the first one, the franchise, kind of what started it all. I thought Lee Winnell and James Wan came up with something really interesting. I swear I knew that the ending, but when it happened, I was like, "Oh, what?" You know, I knew obviously the orderly had
Like
something
that?
to
You
do
mean
with
that
it.
like that Adam gets
No,
put in
when
there?
John Kramer gets up.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I was like, yeah, I wasn't like, oh my god. I was like, oh shit, like
Oh
you
well,
got me.
I'm like over here being like, you didn't realize it was John Kramer. I forgot it's the first one. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, it's the
I
first
was
one.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah, so I thought everything was inventive. Obviously, I knew the orderly had something to do with it because in the beginning when he's like, his name's John, and he says it all like disgusted that
Yeah.
he didn't know his name, and or he calls him patient. I think he's like, oh, the
Mhm.
patient here. He's like, his name's John Kramer. And it's like, oh, well, this guy has something to do with it. Yeah, I thought
He's a living, breathing person. Okay.
yeah, and everything. I think it just works so well because we haven't seen it before, and this one again, I don't have a problem with like this first movie. I don't have a problem with the ending where it's like the back in time showing you what happened, because
Yeah.
again, this is the first one. It's just when you start to do it in every single movie, then it gets old. Um,
One
but
thing I
yeah,
did like about
yeah,
Spiral, just to go back, was I liked that it still kept
it did that.
some of the
Yeah,
tropes. Like
yeah.
it kept some of like the same. You know how Saw always does the thing where it's like the sped up frames. You know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about? Like that, like
Oh
somebody will
yeah,
be
I
in
hate
frame and it goes like like
I hate
up
that.
to them. But I liked that it kept it though, because it's still. I didn't want Spiral to feel like it was not part of the Saw franchise. That
Mhm.
was my biggest worry about Spiral, was that it was just going to
Right.
be totally different, totally whatever. But it did feel like it was, at least it felt like it was still part of the
Mhm.
same franchise. But let's talk about Saw. So yeah, I agree with you totally. I think this first movie, it really like it grabs you, man. Like it is
Mhm.
so compelling to watch, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
Like I said, I'm not the biggest horror fan.
yeah.
So like, I wouldn't say like I like the first one, but all the other ones like I just don't like. Like I'm not. I probably will never watch them again.
Really,
Maybe the first one I'll watch again. It's just like I don't need
I think I'm
this.
gonna
Like
watch all of
I
them.
don't like body horror. So like I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Um. But yeah, I don't know. I thought again like the first one. This one is really inventive. Obviously James Wan and Lee Winnell have gone on to do great. Obviously the Conjuring universe is great. Lee Winnell directed Invisible Man, and then he also directed Upgrade, which I've heard is also very good. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, and then the whole I thought that the story was great. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Same. I think there's I mean I don't there's not I think there's less to talk about in this movie just because of how simple a premise it
Yeah, it's
is, but
pretty simple. Yeah.
I think it needs to be appreciated for how simple it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's just so damn good. I don't know. It's like just two guys in a room and that's it. How are they going to get out? You have the puzzle aspect of it that I love about it. You know, you have the game
Mm-hmm.
aspect that it's like two people, well, but
Mm-hmm.
then you find out that um, technically in John Kramer's version of the game, there was a chance for, because all of his games are winnable, uh, there is there was a chance for both Lawrence and Adam to get out.
Yeah.
Uh,
What was that? I forget.
well, remember you find out in because remember the very first shot of Adam is the tub is draining and the key goes down the drain. Remember?
Yeah.
You find out in Saw 3 that Amanda put didn't secure the key onto Adam, or onto something. She just put it on his chest, which made it go down the drain. Like
Right.
Adam was supposed to have access to his key, or somehow they were supposed to get their key, but Amanda was like so like cynical or whatever, and she didn't want everybody to be able to win, so she made it so that the key would go down the drain. Because you look also at Jigsaw at the 2017 one, at the end of that, when it's just the two people left, he gives a key to both of them. They're just too dumb and they fire the shotgun and it ruins the keys. But he gives them both keys because all of his games are winnable. And then same thing with what was the one? Crap, what was the one with like the bald guy that explodes and stuff? That Saw 6? That was Saw 5?
No. Sauce. I don't know.
Oh, that was Saw.
I want to say.
That was Saw 5. Yeah, that was Saw 5. That one too, remember, that had a good twist. There was 5 people. And when they get to the final trap, 3 of them have died, and they go, "Oh shit. All of us were supposed to survive." And I was like, "Oh my god, I was like, I didn't see that coming." I was like, "Damn, that's good." I was like, "That was a good twist." Because they were like, "Why?" He was like, "But why are there 5 holes?" And then you go back through the whole movie and you do the montage thing. Yeah, and you realize it's like all 5 of us were supposed to hold the electric thing. There was room in the tunnels for all of us. The one key would have worked on all of our necklaces or on all of our neck things. Like, I really liked that too. So I liked that, like, somehow John Kramer's games were always winnable. And I think this one, was great. I mean, he had to make a big sacrifice to win by cutting his leg off, but he ends up doing it. But yeah, I just think it's a very, very good movie. I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 3.5. But
there you go.
I don't know.
Oh my god! All right, and then number 1 I put was Searching. Yeah. No, but really, yeah, that, like TJ said, I think that will do it. So
2 hours and 37 minutes.
2 hours and 37 minutes. All right, so that will do it. For, I think we deserved an almost 3-hour episode on our 1-year anniversary. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Stay tuned in 6 weeks for episode 50. Like I said, check out the link in the video description for some sick PFN merch. Got some pillows, some mugs, some sweaters, some hoodies, whatever you want. Get yourself a nice beach towel with our faces on it. I think that'll do it for me. My name is Sean Monk. You could follow me at Paste Eating Yak. Be sure to let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Yeah,
my name's TJ Cornwell. You can find me at TJ_Cornwell on Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this video. Like Sean said, let us know what you thought in the comments of maybe Saw as a franchise, Spiral, any of the other Saw movies individually.
And let us know your ranking too.
And your rankings. And we'll see you, I think, Saturday.
Should be.
Maybe
yeah.
Should be Saturday for what's it called? Bad
Planet
Batch
Council.
episode 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Planet Council review. So yeah, take it easy, and we will see you next time.
Boom.